entertainment over the last couple of years.
This is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. When pack meets with pack in the jungle, and neither will go from the trail. Lie down till the leaders have spoken. Only the strongest shall prevail.
Well, he rewrote all the record books last year, Sir Alex Ferguson, with Manchester United. The task this time around, follow that. Well, they've made a pretty good start. They're still unbeaten in the league this calendar year. 23 games to date, and they'll want it to be 24 by the end of this one. This is one of the highlights of our season. We're at Highbury, live from the Carling Premiership on Sky Sports 1, and for the very first time on Sky Sports Extra, it's Arsenal against Manchester United. A big game and a big breakthrough in the history of televised sport, because today viewers on Sky Digital are seeing and experiencing interactive football coverage for the very first time. It's television history being made here and now. And this is what it's all about, the ability to choose your own angle and watch the game from behind the goal. To call up highlights at any time during the game. As if that's not enough, to instantly go back 30 seconds and replay any incident you want to see again. Or call up stats at any time during the match. We'll be explaining more as we go along, and it's really very easy. Sky Digital viewers can get it all by using just 12 buttons on their remote control. And just to remind you, Sky Sports Extra is available free to Sky Sports subscribers on channel 404, but it's only available on Sky Digital, where viewers also today have the choice of watching the game in widescreen on Sky Sports 1. Right now, though, let's concentrate on the game itself. We're joined today by fabulous Frank McClintock, the original double-winning captain here at Highbury, and he has in common with Steve Bruce that he was the original double-winning captain at Old Trafford. It's great to have you with us, boys.
Thanks.
Just wondering a little earlier, Steve, is this game now in Manchester United's calendar more important than the match against Liverpool?
Well, I think over the last few years, of course, Arsenal have tried to wrestle the championship away from Manchester United, and they've done it, haven't they? They won the double a couple of years ago, and they've been the main rivals to them. I think Liverpool are going through that transitional period, but I think the rivalry is always there with Liverpool. That'll not change. But I know for a fact they enjoy this one immensely.
Where does it rank in Arsenal's calendar, this one, Frank?
I think along with Tottenham, the biggest one of the season. I think maybe the local rivals is always possibly the biggest, but I think Man United, with the following that they have right throughout the world, really. I mean, it's not just around about Manchester or London or whatever, but they've got a fantastic following, and I think it's a big one, massive one.
It's funny you should mention Tottenham. They're top of the pile right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Does that hurt a Gunner, or are you pleased for George Graham?
No, I'm always pleased for George. I like Tottenham Hotspur anyway, believe it or not. Maybe that's the wrong thing to say, being an ex-Arsenal man, but I think they've been a great club through the years, and George is doing a smashing job once more for them. He's
not getting carried away by any of it, is he? He's not likely to.
No.
But if you are a Tottenham fan and you look at the table right now and see your team top, it's a wonderful sight, isn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't really mean a great deal, to be absolutely honest.
It does if you haven't been there for a few years.
Yes, it does. If it's at the end of the season and you're saying that.
Of course, I understand that.
But of course it's a moral boosting thing, and it gives them confidence for each of the games coming up. So it is important, but it's so early in the season, and sometimes we see teams up there that probably won't be there at Christmas time, for instance,
So enjoy it while you can, is that the message?
Absolutely. I mean, if George gets a couple of players, I think he does need at least 2 to 3 players to strengthen that squad. If he does get them, then they might be right up there at the end of the year.
And up there with them right now, of course, Brian Robson and Middlesbrough have started really well. But again, same question really, Steve. Can they sustain it?
Well, Brian's on the quiet, is enabling a big strong squad. I think the arrival of Ziga, who is an excellent footballer, is a great signing for him. And of course, it's always lovely, as Frank was saying, to get off to a good start. If you get off to a really good start, it breeds a bit of confidence, and they're playing well at the moment.
Of course, the winners here, if there are to be winners, will go top today, so that will sort it all out, won't it?
Yeah, I think that's the yardstick. Is these two, and obviously Chelsea are going to be there. Is who can break in and challenge them over the consistency of the season. Manchester United and Arsenal have proved over the years that they're going to be there. Can the other ones try and stay with them?
The Carling Premiership, rock bottom right now with just a point. Sheffield Wednesday, Derby have a point. Newcastle got their first point of the season against Wimbledon yesterday. Of course, all the goals and the major talking points on the Monday Night Football tomorrow. Liverpool, when were they last as low as that? 3 points from 3 played. They're in action, of course, tomorrow night against Leeds United. That is our live Monday Night Football match. On 4, Sunderland, Leicester, Everton, Bradford and Coventry now. And just ahead of them, the Dons with 5 points. The entertainers, Wimbledon. Then it's Southampton and Watford with 7 points. Arsenal, West Ham, Leeds, Aston Villa, Chelsea and Manchester United. And top of the pile right now with 9 points from 4 played, Middlesbrough and Tottenham. It's a big day this all round, not least for Simply Red, Mick Hucknall and Sir Alex Ferguson, who of course has got that testimonial concert on at Haydock Park. It's a Sky box office event, and a little later in the programme we will be hearing from Mick Hucknall. Right now, let's hear from George Gavin, who's got the teams. George.
Yes, a few injury problems on both sides, Richard. For instance, both teams missed their first-choice goalkeeper, David Seaman and Mark Bosnich, respectively. But perhaps Arsenal hit more than Manchester United, with 5 first-teamers not starting today for Arsenal. There they are. Alex Meninga continues to deputise for the injured David Seaman. Brazilian Silvinho keeps his place with Nigel Winterburn injured. Matthew Upson also in defence, but he knows Tony Adams is not far away from returning. Emmanuel Petit is replaced by Ray Parlour in the middle. Freddie Ljungberg is wide right, Henri wide left. The introvert Dennis Bergkamp and the extrovert Kano up front, but both can be deadly. On the bench, Mark Overmars and Davor Suker. Now with a work permit, he arrived back last night from Croatia's win over Malta, eager to make his debut today. United unbeaten in their last 23 league games. Raymond van der Houw replaces the injured Mark Bosnich in goal. Roy Keane was sent off in his last game against Arsenal, the FA Cup semi-final replay. Ryan Giggs separated the teams in the FA Cup with that wonder goal. Dwight York has 33 goals in 55 games for United. He scored in all 3 league games so far. Andy Cole began his career at Highbury. He now has 82 goals for United. And I was talking yesterday to Sir Alex Ferguson about his pop concert. He wants the 3 points today, but he is a man with a mission. Those 3 points, then a helicopter and plane ride back to Haydock Park and his pop concert. So who will call the tune today, United or Arsenal?
How the other half live, eh? Such a huge match this, whenever it's played in the season. And you know what's significant about it? The fact that it never fails to live up to expectations. Let's flash back now. Goals, music and stories from the time, and some great memories.
Claire allowed to turn. Giggs coming in. Good chance for United. Hits the post. Luck with Arsenal. Back from Sharp. And Adams, and it's in. Smith, right, Gary Ballister save Manchester United's bacon there. Mark Hughes hits a second yellow card. It's equaling red.
If that's all we have.
It's a terrific ball, controlled by Zola. A magnificent goal for Italy. Oh, and misjudged by Adams. It's Andy Cole. It's beautifully taken for Manchester United. Solskjaer, he likes to check back onto the other foot, but doesn't this time. He uses the left to deadly effect. Bergkamp!
It's a 1v1. They arrive pretty much together. Right jumps down on him. That's what's incensed everyone.
Oh, what a goal! What a goal! That's Vieira! Absolutely fantastic! Gary Neville showing him trying to drift in behind. Grimandi has done and punished Arsenal. Sheringham! He's got another one. Oh, great header, David Platt! In towards Adams. Nicholas Anelka. Schmeichel there again. Anelka there again. Now was that in the mind of Graham Barber a goal-scoring opportunity? Hughes. Oh, it's a bit lucky. He didn't aim for Ljungberg, but he's found him.
He must go back.
Steve Bruce and Frank McClintock, our guests this afternoon. Have you got a favourite Arsenal United memory from this ground, Steve?
Yeah, I remember coming down here and we won 6 one night, you know, which is a hell of an achievement when you look up and you see 6, you got 6 goals. I think Lee Sharp got a hat-trick. Obviously that's a great memory. But they're always great games to play and wonderful games to play. And, there's so many quality players on show that's why we're all here and looking forward to it because of the quality.
Well, it was the first division then, wasn't it? It wasn't the Premiership. But no, it was. It wasn't the Premiership. It was only a few years ago. But Man United were usually in the second division when I was playing, actually, Stevie.
I can't take that.
No, I'm only kidding. No, I mean, we were playing against people like George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law, amongst others, Paddy Crane. Great players, great side, a very electrifying team. Even then, even back in the 60s and 70s.
That's because they were Manchester United, that's why. We're at Highbury this afternoon on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra today. The famous Arsenal Underground station. All routes lead to Highbury this afternoon. And when we come back, we'll be focusing on the Gunners' season. They're out of the traps quickly. Remember this from the Monday Night Football recently? That's next. In North London, Steve Bruce and Frank McClintock, our guests here this afternoon. I was just asking Frank, what's the best way out? It's always a nightmare when you leave here. He doesn't know.
Yeah, I do know.
Oh, you do know?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
tell me later.
helicopter like Alex.
Helicopter. It's Arsenal and Manchester United this afternoon. And in one word, it's huge. There's more live golf coming up this week on Sky Sports. The second tournament of the World Golf Championships is the NEC Invitational. 4 days of exclusively live coverage starts Thursday night from 6:30 over on Sky Sports 2. As I said, here at Highbury today, it's Arsenal against Manchester United on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. That's a new channel being launched today on Sky Digital, channel 404, bringing you interactive football coverage for the very first time. And more on that later. Steve Bruce and Frank McClintock, our guests today. We'll talk in a moment. Right now, let's check out Arsenal's form. This is what they've been doing this season, and already they're looking really strong.
Marshall. Runners into the box. Winterburn was aware of that and came across, but Arsenal a little bit sloppy. Plenty of blue shirts in the centre. Cut it. 1-0. Up towards Henry. It might come for Bergkamp. Good first touch. In injury time. How Arsenal would love a winner. Petit towards Henry with a header, and it's an own goal.
Petit! That's the way to break them down, Mark. Sure. No flag. And it's Mikel Beck. Oh, the follow-up by Rory Delap. Oh, there's no flag. Bergkamp. Arsenal have their second.
Morte catching Macon in possession. Here's Henry. And now Boa Morte again. Good save by Sorensen, and just about bundled away. It almost broke for Kanu. Still not cleared as much as Sunderland need. Parler's effort, just skimming the crossbar on its way over. And again the Brazilian with an opportunity, and a decent header coming in from Kanu.
So 2 wins and a draw, but as we heard, no Manu Petit today, but Arsene Wenger's not too concerned about that.
The intensity of the battle is always huge, and one player more or less doesn't make a huge difference, because the motivation in both camps is so high, the importance of the game is so high that one player more or less doesn't make really a difference. Of course, in the longer term, if you lose your important players, it makes a difference, but on such a game, it's such a hype, but everybody's so much motivated, and you don't feel really that the teams are weaker.
Even though it's so early in the season, what would be the psychological advantage for the victors?
The psychological advantage would be is very important to know that you can get the 3 points first for us. To play at home, to win an important game will be, of course, very important to us psychologically, because we had a good start, they had a good start, but to be very strong at home for us is crucial.
Do you feel that Manchester United have a greater advantage over Arsenal in that they are a much bigger club, bigger squad, bigger crowds, more money? How do the two compare?
I would say Man United has more financial potential than Arsenal at the moment. I hope it will not last. I don't think they have an advantage squad-wise. The two, it's very difficult to compare. But I think 2 teams are excellent. And 2 years ago we finished with 1 point ahead of Man U. Last year they finished with 1 point ahead of us. That shows you how close the 2 squads and the 2 clubs are.
When the teams are so close, how do you pick to beat
That's
them?
why the sport is so interesting. You don't really know, and it's the day who tells, and as well the quality of your players. After, it's down to the quality of your players, to the mental strengths and the mental desire of the players on the day, and that can make a difference.
I know what he's saying, Frank, but Manu Petit is so instrumental as part of a very influential 2 in their midfield. Surely he'll be missed today.
I think he'll be missed as well. Maybe it's a psychological thing with Arsenal. I think Petit and Vieira as a pair are unbelievably good, and any time one of those players gets injured, it is so hard to replace them. And I was trying to guess who they were going to play in midfield today, and I guessed right actually. I thought you'll have to have somebody strong in there, and Ray Parlour has played against Man United, I think it was last year, in that position as well, because Man United are also extremely strong in midfield, got a great midfield, so you have to try and match them as much as possible, and I think it's as good as you can get having Ray Parlour and Vieira in the centre of midfield.
Well, it's interesting because his partner Vieira doesn't necessarily agree with his manager about the loss of his midfield partner today.
It's going to be a big loss for me and for the team, of course, because I think the 3 first games he do really well, and we're going to miss him. But I don't worry about that because the player going to replace them, going to fight very hard to prove they have a place in the team, and of course it's going to be a big loss, but you know, you have to do with.
How much are you looking forward to playing against Roy Keane again?
Yes, I'm really happy to play against him because he's a great player, you know, and he's a winner. I like to play against a player like him because he fights in the pitch and he's trying to play for this team, and he's an important player in the Man United system. And to play against a player like him, you have to be in the top level. Too much pressure, and some people as a head and just try to kick you or you know. But I think when you play against him, sometimes you try to do it, but you know, that's a football.
Why do you think people focus on the battle between you and Roy Keane?
Because maybe we are the winner, and we play the game for the win. Maybe that's why the people are so exciting about the game on Sunday.
Got to hand it to him. Not many mix it with Roy Keane, nor as successfully as he does, Frank, do they?
No, but he's about 6'3", you know, he's a big lad himself, and as you said, Roy Keane's such an important player, you know. No wonder Man United are desperate to hold on to him. Be a good battle again today. I'm looking forward to watching that.
How much of a lift in the United camp that Petit isn't there?
Oh, well, I think if you look at him, he's as good a midfield player as there is in the country in that position, isn't he? I mean, he's a wonderful, wonderful player. Strength, pace, can shoot. He'd be a miss for Arsenal.
Although it is worth pointing out that he was missing in this same fixture 12 months ago, and Arsenal won it by 3 goals to 0.
I think you can understand what Arsene Wenger's saying there, that on a big game like this, the individual, you just have to send them out, you know. But of course, he's right what he's saying. It's if he's out for 5 and 6 weeks that you miss him for 6 to 8 games, then it becomes a problem. But at a game like this, I can understand what he's saying.
Do you enjoy watching Kanu in an Arsenal jersey?
I love watching Kanu. I mean, Arsenal have always been a terrific side on and off for the last 20, 30 years. But they're really exciting now to watch, you know. That boring tag is drifted away from them. And they can produce some great skills. There's Kanu, there's Bergkamp, there's Overmars, there's Henry. There's so many talented players. And I watched them training last week. And it was great, the variety of attacking options that they have compared to what they used to have, you know, is really quite exciting. The only thing I would think might be a little bit puzzling at the moment, not puzzling, but a problem still, Richard, is that they haven't got a natural centre forward at the moment. I watched them last week against Sunderland, and you know, it's all quick little 1-2s and everything else, but if you've got a lot of men behind the ball, it's difficult to break through that. There's nobody that can head the ball particularly in the air. And I spoke to Arsene Wenger about it, and he says Suka is a great player and very good in the air. So I think the sooner Suka comes back, because Bergkamp or Kanu don't like being the front man. They like playing just off a man like that.
But if anybody can find a way through, surely the rubber band man can. He is, as Frank was saying, one of the entertainers right now. It's a great sight in full flow, isn't he? And he enjoys it, every minute of it. We're at Highbury this afternoon. It's Arsenal and Manchester United. Whenever it's played, it's a huge football match. That's how we're providing those pictures this afternoon of Highbury Stadium in North London. Our eye in the sky, circling high above. So when we come back, we'll be focusing our attention on... and more that you want in the streets these days by way of souvenirs. Any real memory these fans want tonight is that of 3 points. 2 live games on Tuesday night, by the way. At 7 o'clock on Sky Sports 1 is the second leg of that Intertoto Cup final between Metz and West Ham. The Hammers are goal down. Also, from the Worthington Cup on Sky Sports 2, Crystal Palace against Colchester, 2 apiece after the first leg. That, the second leg between the two. Right now, we're counting down to Arsenal against Manchester United and another landmark in the history of sports broadcasting, the launch of interactive football coverage for the very first time. So if you've just joined us, let me tell you that today's game is live on both Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra, a new channel available only on Sky Digital. It's free to Sky Sports subscribers on Sky Digital, channel 404, and we'll be explaining exactly how it works nearer to the kickoff. And don't forget, if you want various facts and figures about today's game, you can check out our stat pack. We're online now at www.skysports.co.uk. I mentioned Mick Hucknall a little earlier. Well, Kirsty Gallagher has been speaking to him, and tonight he gets an opportunity to pay tribute to a guy who is simply Mr. Red.
I think you understand.
You sort of gently approached me, and I knew that they were going to be doing things. And of course, when he approached me, I just jumped at the chance. It was an honour to do it. You know, it's just a way of paying respect. I mean, especially as we've gotten the treble. I think even if we hadn't have got it, you know, this would have been a great day. But because we've got that, I just think it's just the icing on the cake. It's perfect.
Would you say you're in awe of him?
I've got a huge amount of respect for him because of what he's achieved and the way in which he goes about his business, and I think he's a very level-headed, kind of caring guy about his team, about people around him, about his friends, and he deserves all the success. I was thrilled about him getting a knighthood. I think it was the great timing and the perfect thing to do. He's one of the most respected men in Britain, if not the world, you know, certainly in the world of football.
Would you say that's a mutual respect because you're both very successful?
Well, you better ask him. I don't know about that. You know.
I think he'd say yes.
Well, if he says yes, then I'll be very pleased as punch with that.
Well, you're ambassadors really for the city of Manchester, aren't you?
I'm proud of that. Yeah, if that's true. Yeah, I think the city's been very good to me, and obviously been very good to him.
What makes him such a great leader, would you say?
Well, the thing that always struck me whenever I'd hear him talking is that how much he cared about his younger players, and he's got this very kind of nurturing quality about him that I think they have the utmost respect for him. They don't think he's talking twaddle. You know, I think the players obviously listen to what he's got to say, and he just commands respect and commands admiration just by being himself. I don't think he has any airs and graces. That's kind of like, is what you see is what you get, and that's what I like about him.
And as a supporter, how much do you feel that he brings to the club?
An undescribable amount. I mean, you know, in the world of football, they always say that there's no one person bigger than the team, that you're always really thinking about the team. But I really can't imagine that team would have achieved that or gotten to that state, even with the same players, without that manager. You know?
So no one could replace Alex Ferguson?
I don't think so. I mean, in some ways, there's some players that I think are irreplaceable. I think Eric's irreplaceable. Peter Schmeichel's irreplaceable. Probably Roy Keane is. But you just have to find another solution to it, you know? But I really couldn't imagine it without Alec. I just don't think it wouldn't be the same.
And that tribute concert to Alex Ferguson takes place at Haydock Park tonight, and it's also on Sky Box Office. Steve Bruce and Frank McClintock, our guests here this afternoon. So, irreplaceable, Sir Alex Ferguson, Steve. Is that something that you would agree with?
Well, certainly when you look at his record and what he's achieved and what he's done, not just at Manchester United, of course, but with Aberdeen as well, puts him up there with the greats, has to be. He's won the lot, and last year's achievement of the treble is just, I don't think anybody will match that again.
But they said that about Bill Shankly and Bertie Mee, Frank, didn't they? And Don Revie, and there's always somebody else, isn't there? As harsh as that sounds, but there is always another generation.
Possibly, but Alec's done it over a number of years, hasn't he? I mean, he hasn't done it over maybe, say, the treble last year. You know, we just said that at Aberdeen, about 25 years ago. He brought them from nowhere to beat Rangers and Celtic. His record is quite unbelievable. He's a marvellous manager.
Well, let's check out the champions' form this season, and of course they were quickly back into the groove.
Forward by Coles, Dwight York, and Gerrard got a touch but couldn't keep it out. And it's taken Manchester United 6.5 minutes to open their Premiership account for the new season. Unsworth. It's Barmby, unmarked. Goal!
York gives it back to Giggs, and his cross is turned in by Paul Scholes. Giggs ready to deliver again. Dwight York, 2-0. Beckham's swirling corner, and Sheringham's shot may well have been turned in by Andy Cole. But is Sheringham? Oh, it bounces off the bar, but straight to Solskjaer.
And the free man here, freed by Beckham's pass, is Neville. York! Beckham takes. Oh, it's two!
No Petit today for Arsenal, no Nicolas Anelka. Of course, he has now gone, so will Arsenal be stronger or not without Anelka?
I'm not so sure of that one, to be honest with you. I think he was an emerging young player, but still had to develop. I think Arsenal would agree with that too. But the main players are still in position at Arsenal. You know, that Petit and Vieira have done a great job in midfield. And with Adams at the back and Keogh and that experience of Dixon and Winterburn, Seaman, you know, that you can't see any real change there.
I know some noises from Arsenal have said, well, you might be stronger because of your exit from the FA Cup, but do you feel you will be, or do you feel it's still a big, hard programme?
Well, when you take in trips to Tokyo and trips to Brazil, you have to say that it's going to test us. You know what I mean? I would have thought Arsenal would be delighted we're going to Brazil, to be honest with you, and everyone else.
I know the Roy Keane contract situation is still simmering in the media, but in the dressing room, is that all settled down now until the end of the season at least?
Oh yeah, they're great. The players have been great. They all had a night out on Monday with Roy. Took him out to thank him for staying, I think. But no, they had a nice night. They had something to eat and a quiz. So apparently had a good night. But no, the spirit in the place is terrific. I'm glad to say that. I mean, Roy's contributed in that respect. See, Roy's one of these rare birds that is unaffected by what's happening round about him. There's very few people, with all the controversy and all the talk about it, it's going right over the top of his head, really. And he's amazing that way.
Apart from that wonder Ryan Giggs goal, your record against them hasn't been great in the last 7 or 8 games, but it doesn't seem to have made any difference come the end of the season.
This one is important, but so early in the season, you can't put it in any placing order in the sense of how it's going to affect a league. Both sides will want to win, and that's always going to be the case when good players play against each other. The pride factor always comes out.
Well, we'll come back to that, but Roy Keane, Steve, will he stay or will he go, in your opinion?
Well, I think he'll be genuinely now. I think he's just undecided. I don't think it's a case now of money. I think it's a case now of, does he want to go and play abroad? Does he want to go and play in Italy or Spain or wherever it will be? Or does he want to stay with Manchester? I think that's what's the decision he's got to make.
And he's the first, Alex Ferguson believes, of many. Ryan Giggs ultimately may be faced with that decision as well. The longest-serving professional now on Manchester United's books, still playing wide left. You didn't think he would be at this stage of his career,
I always thought that maybe he'll play through, but I think who am I to tell him what to do? No, I mean, he is and he has been a wonderful talent, and he still is. I mean, he's only a young lad still now, but there's not a better sight than him when he's in full flow. I remember him coming through the doors as a 14-year-old, and we all stood back in amazement and thought, what on earth have we found here? Because he was just exceptional, you know, a great talent, somebody who you would go and pay to see. He's one of them with electrifying pace, great balance, just a wonderful footballer.
And it all came together when he got one of the greatest cup goals of all time.
I watch it when they show it on TV, and it's great to watch. And you know, the fans have been brilliant, coming up to me saying, you know, it's the best goal they've ever seen. But you've just got to carry on really and try and do it again. And it was just a great night for United.
Do you believe you can score a goal like that again?
I hope so, starting Sunday. But no, I mean, it was a great goal. But you know, I think it added to it because it was such an unbelievable night. It had every emotion possible, with a penalty save, you know, us losing Keeney, and then eventually winning it. So I think it made it even a better goal because of the occasion.
It surprises many people when you tell them that you're the longest serving professional at the club now. Does that surprise even you sometimes?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I was fortunate to get into the team at a young age when I was 17. And even though, you know, Dennis has been in the first team longer, I think I just come here just the year before him, I think, as an apprentice.
Do you feel there's a lot more to come from Ryan Giggs?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think, you know, you ask every professional, I think that the peak years are supposed to be, you know, 27, 28, 29, and I've still got them to come yet. So hopefully, you know, and get better with experience as well, and hopefully, you know, my best years are to come.
It's natural progression. First England, then Europe, next the world.
It's something that's new to all the players. You know, playing in the World Championship is going to be great, and we've got a big squad, and we've got a squad to handle all these games. And you never find the lads complaining. The lads want to play in every game. They don't want to be rested. But the games that we have, people are going to be rested. But no, the lads are looking forward to it. It's a new challenge, and you know, at the end of the year, we want to not only win the league again, but we want to be world champions as well.
Ryan Giggs, the first of the modern-day superstars at Old Trafford. I mean, this era, not Bestie and co. And how pleased was he, I wonder, Steve, to see David Beckham arrive and take up that mantle?
I think he's quite delighted. But I think the great thing is about the United lads and knowing them as I do is the way they handle the situations. I mean, nothing affects them. Year in, year out, they've been like it now. You know, Ryan Giggs has been front page news now for 6-7 years. It doesn't affect him. He still performs week in and week out, and that is where everybody else should be getting to. You know, the way they conduct themselves and they handle themselves is first class.
And is that what you're saying about the manager, Frank, that it is down to the gaffer?
I was just going to say that, you know, Alec is so strict with them as young lads. And I remember, I think it was the Neville brothers was going to do a radio interview when I was up at Man United, and he told them in no uncertain terms what to say and how to conduct themselves, you know. So they knew right away they were sort of nodding, okay, gaffer, and all that sort of stuff. So Alec jumps on people right away and sort of makes sure that they don't get too big-headed early on.
Well, we've got the best attack on view today from last year, 80 goals, against the best defence, just 17 conceded by Arsenal. 7 titles in 9 seasons between them. They've achieved the double 4 times in the last 6 seasons between them. Arsenal unbeaten in the last 4 league games. They've won 3 of them. United's last league win here, 2-1, February '97. 252 goals in the 80 different league matches down the years at Highbury. Right, let's join our match commentators, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Just thinking, Richard, looking at Ryan Giggs there, it took him 18 games to get a goal against Arsenal.
What a goal.
It was worth the wait, I think the Manchester United fans would say. Intensity of the battle, that's what Arsene Wenger's been saying, how he sees it, and I guess most people here are feeling the same, and everybody watching at home.
Absolutely, one of the hardest games of the season to call. When you get, with all respect to Chelsea, when you get the 2 best teams in the country, in my opinion, playing, Martin, then it's the big players, the match winners, who decide the game. Which of those will actually perform? Which of those will get the better of their direct opponents? That's what will decide the game today. Not tactics or anything like that, but the players out the pitch. And that's what's so enjoyable. I mean, I've been looking forward to this all week. This is a game that gets the juices flowing, in my opinion.
Well, let's just remind you of those players. In goal for Arsenal, Alex Manninger, now a full international. He won his first cap for Austria in midweek. The back four, Lee Dixon and Silvinho, are the fullbacks. Nigel Winterburn still out, and it's Martin Keown and Matthew Upson in the centre of the defence. With Manu Petit out, the midfield four harder to predict. Ray Parlour switched to the middle of midfield alongside Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry and Freddie Ljungberg in the wide positions. And it's Dennis Bergkamp and Kanu up front. For Manchester United, Raymond van der Hauw, who deputised 20 times for Peter Schmeichel to good effect, he now stands in for Mark Bosnich, who damaged a hamstring against Leeds. Alex Ferguson short of defenders, but he can still field Phil, Neville, Berg, Stam and Irwin. The midfield is also unchanged. Beckham, Scholes, Keane and Giggs. 49 goals between them in the games they've started together over the past year. Andy Cole and Dwight Yorke.
Well, it is the meanest defence, Mark, but it's missing two components today. Well, three when you include the goalkeeper. When you look at that, there's no doubt in my mind that Upson and Silvinho will be tested. This is the toughest test for either of those players today. What I've seen of Silvinho, I like an awful lot going forward. He really does like to bomb on and get forward into advanced positions. We'll see how he copes defensively today. Ahead of that, we've got Cole, who will definitely run in behind these two. Yorke, who will drop off. How they cope with that will be important. In midfield, Arsene Wenger, he's tinkered a little bit with it. Freddie Ljungberg will definitely help Dixon going back that way, and Vieira and Parlour, these three know all about going back, and they will try and protect the back four as much as possible. Thierry Henry, I'm not so sure how much help we give Silvinho, but he has a pace to go forward that way and hurt players. Beckham, Kane, Scholes and Giggs are all incredibly talented. Threat from Giggs going forward. Scholes threatening that way. Beckham, as I said, threatening Silvinho, and Keane will anchor. Much has been made of Alex Ferguson's defensive problems, but this is the fifth game in a row that this four will play together, getting to know each other, not a problem. They'll have no one running in behind them, but plenty of talent to pick passes out. And if they're looking for protection, well, this is as good as it gets as well. Giggs will help them, Scholes will help them, Keane will help them, Beckham will help them. Incredibly hard-working midfield quartet. We talked about Bergkamp and Kanu not having the pace, Martin, but if they drop off Bergkamp and Kanu, then just look for Thierry Henry being given licence to drift in and really threaten in behind Berg and Stam with his undoubted pace.
Well, it's fascinating to look at the substitutes for Arsenal, because Mark Overmars is there, he's fit again, and Davor Šuker flew in from Croatia last night to be with his new teammates for the very first time. Manchester United have 21-year-old goalkeeper Nick Culkin as their backup on the bench.
So we're nearly there. Arsenal against Manchester United, the first match anywhere in the world to offer the interactive football experience. Broadcast history here and now. It's normal service, of course, on Sky Sports 1, but if you're watching on Sky Digital, then tune into Sky Sports Extra on channel 404 and keep your remote handy, because this is the future of televised sport. Once the Sky Sports Active icon appears in the bottom right hand of your screen, you're ready to take control. Press the red button on your remote and in a few seconds you'll be interactive. Use the left and right buttons to scroll along the four options. Angle gives you a different view of the game. You can watch the action from high behind and still see the main coverage in the corner of the screen. If you scroll to the highlights icon and press select, you'll see and hear again the best moments from the game, continuously replayed.
Terrific shot! Was it over the line? There's no flag. Was it over the line there? It's a goal, second time around.
So that means, of course, you can catch up on any incident you've missed or simply enjoy the goals again. And while you're doing this, the main action is still on the left-hand side of the screen. Select replay and the game instantly jumps back 30 seconds, so you can watch the build-up to a goal, see if it was a penalty, or just enjoy a great piece of action that's just happened. Stats give you just that, constantly updated match facts from the game, plus the team lineups, player records, league tables and match-related trivia. There's also up-to-the-minute news with ticker tape. Remember, use your left and right buttons to scroll along the 4 choices. Push select for the option you want, and you can push back up to return to the previous screen. So that's how it all works, and at this stage just 3 final reminders. If you're watching on Sky Sports Extra and you want to go back to the master view at any stage, then simply press 0 on the remote control, which is down at the bottom, of course. Press Sky to exit up at the top there, and you can change channels. If you need any further advice at any time, then there's always the help button way over on the right hand side. And finally, ignore the interactive button. That's for other Sky digital services about to be introduced. But with the teams about ready here, what a day to launch it on this brand new service. It's Arsenal against Manchester United at Highbury in the company of Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. Your expertise there is commendable. And I have to say, in the Tyler household, when I came out today, my kids said, "Dad, we haven't got this interactive. You'll have to get it next week." So I'm afraid I'm going to have to go down to the shop.
Two things come out of what you've said there. One, get your hand in your pocket, Tyler, and get it installed. Your children should be seeing it, and I'm amazed that Keezy knows anything about interactive. He can't switch on his computer at home.
But it is fascinating, and I must say, definitely a step in the right direction with the modern technology, and many of you will enjoy that facility, I'm sure, over the next 2 hours. But all of you will enjoy one of the occasions in the FA Carling Premiership whenever these two meet. It is English football's equivalent of the immovable object and the irresistible force. Arsenal undefeated in the Premiership here at Highbury for more than 20 months. And Manchester United unbeaten anywhere at all in the league since before Christmas.
You think a draw's a good bet?
Well, it might be. Arsenal certainly felt that the psychological edge was regained when they won at Wembley 3 weeks ago. Manchester United have sought to minimise that by pointing out that they do not count the Charity Shield amongst their official records. Lee Dixon, the captain today. Tony Adams is physically fit, but a match of this magnitude deemed maybe just a little too early with his lack of match practice. Arsenal have got a reserve game on Tuesday in which he might be involved. They've got a first team game on Wednesday against Bradford. It's a possibility. They go to Liverpool next Saturday, and I think the most realistic schedule for Tony Adams is, as far as first team football is concerned, is at Anfield. Shirts are blue for Manchester United today. Well, every time they meet, you really are bowled over by the sense of significance. On a historic day for television technology, the football interaction out on the pitch should be fascinating. Arsenal and Manchester United, need we say more? It's live after the break.
Against Manchester United. Top of the pile for the winners here today, but whatever happens, it'll be special. It usually is. Let's join our match commentators, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. Always special is the Arsenal playing surface. And what an occasion for Davor Šuker to acquaint himself with the English game. He arrived in the small hours at Arsenal's pre-match hotel, a private jet from Croatia. He played last night, his second international this week. He is on the bench today, meeting his new club colleagues for the first time just a few hours ago. Graham Poll checking that everyone is present and correct. A little too early to say that winner takes all, but the spoils of victory today include going top of the FA Carling Premiership. Manchester United in their latest strip. Here's York, who scored in every Premiership game United have played so far this season. Beckham, who scored against Arsenal in the Charity Shield. Scholes. Silvinho at left back. The Brazilian who made his Arsenal debut against Manchester United at Wembley when he played on the left-hand side of midfield ahead of Nigel Winterburn, who's out with an ankle injury.
As I've said, I've liked what I've seen of this player, Martin, so far, but mainly going forward. I think this is a real test for him today. Playing at left back, playing probably where his Arsenal career will take place. And I just think it's important that Henry, certainly early in the game, when they're under any pressure, protects him a little, helps him a little.
Watson, who is standing in again for Tony Adams and playing against Manchester United for the first time. Arsenal's free kick. Kanu just confusing Jaap Stam. That takes a bit of doing. Tidied up by Owen. Pierre. He's got Ray Parlour, remember, in the centre of midfield alongside him. No Petit for Arsenal. For a couple of weeks, it seems. York, and Silvinho's missing there as Beckham was allowed to play in a cross unattended. That's a very dangerous thing to let Manchester United do.
He got sucked in, Silvinho, Martin, into a bad position, and it left Beckham wide open. And he had good choices. Giggs, Cole and York all available across the face of the goal. About protection, you know, if Henry, if he's getting sucked in as far as that, then Henry's got to be aware and say, well, hold on a minute, I've got to help him, I've got to get back and try and get close to David Beckham.
Ljungberg. Cole's trying to catch Vieira in possession, and Cole likewise on Keown.
They've certainly started on the front foot, Manchester United. Crisp passing, good movement, putting Arsenal under immediate pressure any time they get the ball.
Well, maybe painful memories of arguably their worst performance in their treble-winning season, this fixture last season. And Arsenal ran away with it 3-0. Ljungberg came on to score on his Arsenal debut in that match. Well, the free kick has upset both teams. Manchester United felt it shouldn't have been awarded. Arsenal felt the same because they were in possession with the Swede on the right-hand side, and he was stopped in his tracks.
It was a strange decision. I give the referee a benefit of the doubt. He's warming up as well. We just try and keep it going. I will say that for Graham Paul. Just like you try and keep the game moving.
And if confidence is important for the players, it's also important for the referee, and he doesn't like that. Two goalkeepers interesting today. Alex Manninger, another step up the ladder of his profession, winning his first cap and continuing to stand in for David Seaman, who's pretty close to his comeback. And Raymond van der Houw, 36 years old, he'll be 37 during the course of the season. But stepping in for Mark Bosnich. Giggs. Here's Keane. Beckham playing it early. Giggs had continued his run through the centre. Trying to feed it back to Keane, who came in crunching on Parlour, got the ball. Vieira, now that's the sort of midfield battle that these games usually produce. It's a storming run by Patrick Vieira. Roy Keane trying to cope with it, and you can understand his difficulties.
That was a good clash, that was wonderful football. Crunching tackles on the edge of the box. Superb skill from Patrick Vieira. I've seen a lot of referees, Martin, when that happens, pull out the yellow card. Should be a bread and butter booking for Roy Keane. I think he gets lucky here.
Roy Keane, who went off against Arsenal in the semi-final replay at Villa Park. The match that gave Manchester United their only win over the Gunners in the last 8 meetings. Eventually. And that didn't take place in 90 minutes. Here's Giggs. Arsenal just drifted away from Dwight York then, and Giggs can attack Lee Dixon. Bounce back off Dixon onto Giggs. Goal kick.
Good match-up. Not for the first time Lee Dixon faces Ryan Giggs. He knows all about him. Tremendously experienced. He just doesn't get out his feet far enough, Ryan Giggs. But good defensive work from Lee Dixon. Stood his ground. Didn't jump in and commit himself. But just ran alongside Giggs.
Berg got the ball and the decision. He was away on international duty as well in midweek. Fixtures that drive managers mad at this time of the season, friendly internationals, particularly the English club managers. Norway played Lithuania. Berg won his 62nd cap. Stam, who played for Holland on Wednesday night. And Ljungberg for Sweden. Vieira played for France. So distractions amidst a hectic club period, especially for Manchester United, who are starting now a sequence of 4 games in 9 days. But here's Thierry Henry for Arsenal. Trying to get the better of Phil Neville. He's forced him back a little bit. It's come to Lee Dixon, who steadies himself and then rather chipped the shot in when he could possibly have driven it if he hadn't taken the touch.
Well, it's been a long time since he scored, 2 or 3 years I think, since Lee Dixon.
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. He doesn't get out his feet. You can see he's really struggling, digging it out. And when you have to do that, inevitably you get air on the ball, you get it going high.
On from Giggs. Keown determined against York. It's a big test for Keown and Upson, Cole and York, the Calypso kids, the Soul brothers, who understand each other's game so well. Manchester United play at Coventry on Wednesday. They face Lazio in the European Super Cup on Friday, that match in Monaco, and then they return to face Newcastle at Old Trafford on Bank Holiday Monday. Parlour. Looking to impose himself on Kanu again. The loose ball seized upon typically by Keane.
As a midfield minefield at the moment, Mark. Anytime the ball drops down there, there are 2 or 3 players contesting it.
Irwin has given it away to Ljungberg. Keane trying to help out. Irwin's back on the beat again. In went Dixon. Manchester United squandering opportunities to clear the ball. Vieira. Haven't seen anything of Bergkamp yet, and he's now complaining about a bang in the face. Hitting Berg. Giggs. Well, Lee Dixon must have seen that goal over and over again, and wondered how Arsenal might have stopped it. When I say that goal, I think you know the one I'm talking about. He's trying to get very tight on Giggs, who's drifted infield again here. Well, the free kick has been given.
Quite rightly, I think. Lovely skill from Dwight York, just sucked Martin Keown, I think it was, in. Really is a lovely ball from Dennis Irwin. Look away, he sees him come in, just nicks it over, and Keown's left leg comes out. Might have let Andy Cole go on.
Well, there was no flag.
No, but whistle was blown. It does give David Beckham a chance. Alex Manningham knows all about this. That's 3 weeks ago. A little bit further out, but the same sort of side. Beckham thudded it off the underside of the crossbar and over the line.
The nearness, not maybe such an advantage for Beckham. He's got to get the ball up and down if he goes directly for goal, which surely he will do. Arsenal survive.
Well, if you're the charger, that was a brilliant example of what you do. Get in front of it. Ray Parlour threw himself at the ball.
Giggs. Stopped in leggy fashion by Vieira, who has the class and the character to relish such a contest as this one. There he is again.
Without his mate at Old Trafford last year, Martin, in the drawing game up there, the league match, He was absolutely magnificent.
Keane. For Scholes, who's just drifted into space. Beckham. A greater coordination in these early minutes in attack, definitely coming from Manchester United.
Well, if he was off, he shouldn't have been. We talked about him being United's longest serving player. He's looking across the line. It's a borderline decision. I don't think he was off.
Got the touch this time. Henry trying to come in on his stronger foot from the left-hand side. Upson, who has kept his frustrations to himself. He's been level-headed in his appreciation of the time it will take to eventually get a regular place here.
Well, he's only 20, a young lad. I know they think they probably will go on forever, but people like Martin Keown and Tony Adams aren't going to go on forever.
Well, Steve Bold has gone. Played against Arsenal last week for Sunderland. And would have been pleased to avoid defeat in that game. I think he was responsible for Bergkamp leaving the match early. Bergkamp passed fit after a bruised back. But as I say, he's hardly had a touch yet. Now looking for Bergkamp. They're ahead of Stam, and that was a classy contribution.
That again is a good little battle down in this corner. Ljungberg's had quite a bit of the ball. It's been a really good tussle, that.
Arsenal didn't start the season particularly emphatically, a point Martin Keown's been making this week. Last season they drew 4 of their first 5 games, and they did play Manchester United here and beat them, and it looked as though they were going to go off and defend their title, and of course they did push Manchester United all the way, just a point in it at the end. Cole, but a win today would take them, as I say, to the top of the table, and Arsene Wenger could point on a great improvement to a year ago. It's going to take some winning, though, and Manchester United recognising what's required here at Highbury today in these early minutes. Long day for Sir Alec, who heads off to Haydock Park, and his testimonial concert was simply read. Beckham was impeded. Jaap Stam has come forward. Roberg is some 20 yards outside the penalty area at the moment. He might make a late move. No.
Might, but I bet that Jaap Stam would like to do what Tony Adams did from here last year, Martin.
That's Andy Cole against the bar. Very unfortunate for the former Arsenal man.
Well, you don't often see that. Someone get a free header in the middle of the Arsenal defence from across.
Owen, Scholes let it run under his foot. Keane reacting quickly. Arsenal trying to break, but Bergkamp can't find Parler. It runs on though for Kanu. And for Thierry Henry, as he got the legs of Philip Neville. Henry, well stopped by Van der Haar. A sharp Arsenal counter-attack only seconds after Manchester United came so close at the other end.
Great couple of minutes. I talked about Henry, I said that might be the area they get the pace from. He delivered the pace, the pass was a beautiful one. Van der Haar did what he had to do. It's a pretty good save from the goalkeeper.
Well, the first sign of an Arsenal cutting edge. Henry has been working on his fitness, his sharpness, to do justice to himself after his move from Juventus. Had success against Manchester United before in a Champions League quarter-final in his days with Monaco. Beckham. Martin Keown should be in control for Arsenal here. Bergkamp, he can use some strength with Berg barrelling into him from behind. Quick free kick from the home side. Ray Parlour, who got the winner at Wembley, of course.
Good action in the last few minutes, man, but Andy Cole has come closest of all. Just makes a little run towards the near post. He is quite tightly marked, but gets up, gets the free header. He's beaten Maniga. He's not saving this, the goalkeeper, if it's 6 inches lower. He's giving it up and hoping for the best, the goalkeeper.
Scholes. Headed forward by Henry. Appreciated by Bergkamp, who set off very nippily indeed. Bergkamp looks to whip it across. From this angle, it wasn't clear whether he was maybe aiming for a curler into the far corner.
I think he is. I think that's what he's trying, Martin, but you can see from the goalkeeper's action, look at the goalkeeper, Van der Haar, he knows it isn't troubling him or the goal. Very comfortable with it. But it's just starting to open up, almost like a championship heavyweight boxing match for the opening couple of rounds. A little bit of fencing, a little bit of sparring, and suddenly hit the 15-minute mark and the game comes to life.
1 or 2 solid punches. Irwin. Keown a bit impulsive then.
I just think sometimes the centre-back, you can't get in front of the centre-forward, no matter how hard you try. You just have to stand your ground.
York on Vieira.
Well, he's disappointed that he's lost this, I think, Dwight York. And it's nothing malicious, but again, Martin, I have to say it's the type of tackle that I've seen many referees produce a yellow card for. I have to say I'm happy to see Graham Poole reluctant to delve into his pockets early in a match like this.
And a lot of free kicks, no surprise. That's down to the desire to win the ball more than any great cynicism in the play. Dixon thought better of it. He was attracted initially by Kanu's movement.
Well, I'm looking at Thierry Henry, Martin, because already he's climbed 2 or 3 times very well against Phil Neville. I just wonder if we would look for him there, but we haven't.
Silvino, Parlour. Here is Henry. Well, he had a shot and really scuffed it badly, but it rolled almost to where Bergkamp might have just reached it.
Well, it's kind of Frank Lampard like yesterday, scuffs a shot in one chop, gets the goal for West Ham. Almost the same thing happening.
Parlour, he's kept going. Kanu. Parlour nearly got the reward for his enterprise there. Vieira. Patrick Vieira looking to take on Roy Keane. He plucked the ball from him. Vieira this time plays it back to Henry. Ljungberg, but Irwin attractive. Keown's header. Scholes. Narrow Manchester United at the moment. Let's see where Beckham is. And Giggs is through the centre, but that might catch Arsenal out. Ryan Giggs has slid it wide.
Well, if we see a better ball in the match than that one produced from David Beckham, I'll be surprised. It's a great run, but look at how he picks Giggs' run out. Reverse pass, absolutely takes out Martin Keown. I think if that's on his left side, at least he'll hit the target. And I think he should still do that. But what a peach of a ball from David Beckham. Tries to guide it in, never really threatening the goal. And when you see Beckham do things like that, Martin, centrally, I think that's why a lot of people, I think including myself, will see a future in being able to open up defences from there.
You could add David Beckham himself to that list. Scholes. Keeping his place ahead of Nicky Butt, who's on the bench again today with the likes of Solskjaer and Sheringham, who will surely be required over the next few days. Silvino claiming he was caught in the face.
Well, the free kick goes to David Beckham, goes to Manchester United for the challenge. And it's one of those again, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Both jumping honestly for the ball.
And can Cole get free again? No one attacking that free kick for Manchester United.
A touch long, if anything.
Giggs. Irwin. Keane waiting on the edge of the area. The cross was to be worked in, but Arsenal doing their closing down. It's complaining that his shirt was being tugged.
It was all a bit tight for Manchester United. Never looked to spread it from there.
Again, nicely done by Vieira. Bergkamp. Silvino on the move. Henry's through the centre. Vieira giving Silvino an option on the outside. Silvino's cross, and Manchester United relieved that that was on the deep side.
I think Silvino's ball to Vieira wasn't the best. He didn't commit Phil Neville enough. It meant that Vieira had to check back and look for Silvino again. But I half expected Ljungberg to get up, make the distance mark. He didn't do it. And that's where Arsenal, playing at home, strangely have looked at their most threatening. And the breakaways have been under pressure for most of the half. United have started the game better. And they have looked to threat Arsenal when they've managed a quick counter.
Keown backing his left foot there. Parla. Straight out of harm's way by Jaap Stam, who has emerged from that tentative start in the Charity Shield a year ago against Arsenal when Nicolas Anelka ran him ragged, to become a true colossus at the back for Alex Ferguson.
I'll tell you what, he's just done pretty well in all, Martin. When that ball came over, many a centre-half might have just taken a wild fling at that with a right foot. And he just held Kanu off and let it drift it harmlessly across goal.
I should think the centre-backs in the Premiership are a bit wary of doing that. So many own goals we've seen so far this season. Vieira. Berg's header. In goes Parla, played it only against Giggs, and Dixon has to play it the way he's facing. Back to Manninger. It's a decent kick by the Austrian goalkeeper. Bergkamp losing the trial of strength with his Dutch international colleague Jaap Stam.
Some fascinating battles going out here, I tell you. It really is good to watch.
Keane. Beckham heading it forward. Silvino on the stretch. He's been called into Brazil's squad for a couple of forthcoming internationals against Argentina. Not yet won a first senior cap. Phil Neville. But when you see, Andy, this amount of talent in a top club game, you can understand maybe the current argument that this football is going to surpass international football in the end, because clubs have the pick of the best from all countries.
Absolutely.
Scholes, Giggs, a nuisance to Arsenal through the centre again. Flicked it to the left to Andy Cole. Giggs won't reach that. Upson did. Owen, Keane. The search for the early supremacy through the first goal of the game goes on. Manchester United have had a good chance for Giggs, who's just knocked the ball away long after the whistle, and realised he was running a risk with the referee. But as Andy has pointed out, Graham Poll has started this game in benevolent mood.
I have to say, it hasn't spoilt the game for me, the fact that we haven't seen a yellow card.
I agree with you 100%.
This is the one we've seen Manninger aim for Thierry Henry from round about here. Let somebody work on and trying to get them involved. Kanu hasn't done particularly well in here all day, Martin, against anyone. And I think Henry's at good string and looks like he might win a few.
Well, it was appealing for offside. I think there's some justification then against Bergkamp. He didn't get involved in the end, but the flag didn't go up. Pass reversed by York. Giggs needing his famed speed to keep it in, but it couldn't quite manage to do that.
Ben, though, the movement was wonderful from Ryan Giggs. He just managed to evade Lee Dixon's lunging tackle, and he was off, and York's vision was there, spotted the run, almost put him in.
A little bit of illegal contact on Kanu by Berg. Quick free kick from the Nigerian for Bergkamp. Phil Neville's come across and did enough to force Bergkamp to put it wide. Arsenal had another player arriving, Thierry Henry.
Well, it's not often I talk about Dennis Bergkamp not having a picture, but this is one of the few times he could have lain it there after he'd taken his first touch, and Henry was coming steaming in, absolutely unmarked. Wonderfully quick free kick by Kanu. Almost caught United.
There were gaps because Henning Berg had gone with Kanu into the Arsenal half and fouled him. Same two involved, and Berg comes off second best again. Kanu to Henry. It's an important little nudge of the ball from Philip Neville then for Manchester United.
Lack of confidence with the left foot as well. I thought it was there to knock it, open himself out a bit and hit it with his left.
Giggs. Oh, Manchester United got a man over. David Beckham. Back towards Scholes, and coming in behind him was Dwight York, and if Scholes had left it, York would have had a really clear opportunity.
Well, you talked about one player over, they've actually got two over. Look at that, they've got Scholes and Beckham against Martin Keown. You think it must be Scholes, but look at Dwight York round the back.
Actually, the flag went up, Andy, so it wouldn't have counted.
Couldn't have been York offside, must have gone up against Scholes. I just wondered if Beckham ever thought of hitting that as it was dropping. Such is his ability to volley the ball and strike it.
One tends to forget that apart from his Charity Shield goal, David Beckham also scored in that semi-final win. A goal that was very good, but was eclipsed by Giggs. That is offside against Cole.
Could have gone the other way, you know, and it's easy from here. Never had a bad game, too many up here, but David Beckham had made a wonderful run. You watch Beckham go on the right-hand side, he's away, he's ahead of Silvinho. He's totally open. Wasn't spotted.
Almost half an hour of skill, strength and strategy at the highest order. Oh!
Well, that would have been Phil Neville, surely.
It was Phil Neville. And on the subject of own goals, that would have been the top of the list, I guess.
Well, I talk about goalkeepers not looking worried when they know where it's going. You see the goalkeeper scrambling across goal. He knows it's close, and it was very close.
Manchester United have conceded a corner. It could have been much, much worse. Arsenal's first. Right in by the goalkeeper. Silvinho takes it. Too high for Upson. And charge down Scholes. Attempted ball forward.
Whatever happened to that Arsenal near post corner? I don't have to seem to see that very often now. I mean, they scored goal after goal after goal. They've still got good height in there. Great delivery. For some reason, games I've watched them over a few months, Martin, certainly a year, they don't use it very often now.
That's certainly a question for Arsene Wenger and Pat Rice. Of course, Steve Bold was the one who flicked on, and he wasn't a regular in his latter months at Highbury, whether it went with him. Kanu. Dixon. Parler. And he was looking for Bergkamp, but he only found Keane. A warning, I think
what he's doing,
firm nature.
Yeah,
Patrick,
I think what Graham Poll's doing, Martin, he's given almost every player on the pitch, and I think sensibly and rightly, because of the nature of this game, one tackle. And it seemed to indicate that to Patrick Vieira. That's your one.
Well, that was a fair enough challenge by Vieira, and Arsenal got a lot of players forward, and again they can't find the right sort of shot from Bergkamp, which is a surprise. He's begun the season with a couple of goals. One here against Leicester, one at Derby.
Yeah, this just gets away from him. He's actually stretching when he hits it. You see him lunging at it, doesn't quite get it, catches it off the toe. He didn't really control it. It's been a good little spell the last 5 minutes for the home side.
Vieira is the name the crowd are singing at the moment. Kanu. Silvinho had to put the brakes on, he would have gone offside. Kanu kept the ball and very nearly scored from good distance. A lovely reach by Raymond van der Haar.
Well, I said they were having a good spell. This just typifies it. There's a long way out. Many goalkeepers would be saying shoot. But this takes full stretch, a 6 foot plus to get fingertips to this. It's a wonderful attempt from Kanu. It's arcing into the top corner. Yet again, another good save from Raymond van der Haar.
Well, there have been a couple of them now. The earlier effort by Thierry Henry when he was played in from the left-hand side. Here's Silvinho, breaks to Vieira. Upson. Beckham trying to run his way out of trouble, and he's done that. Lovely hold-up play by York. Beckham involved again. But, when the opposition fans react like that, it's a compliment, really. And the Arsenal supporters enjoyed 2 successful home challenges on Beckham. He's on the ball again, though. And Silvinho went a bit late on him. Beckham didn't protest. There have been 1 or 2 occasions this season when David Beckham has responded to some taunting from crowds. But last season he kept himself in check splendidly. Oh, Keown miscalculated. Andy Cole! It's Manninger's turn to be a goalkeeping hero. Well, these two are builders, stand-ins. Vieira on a run. Knocks Stam out of the way unfairly.
Oh, it's a tough call, but what a save from Alex Manninger. We have 0-0, Martin, but purely because 2 goalkeepers have made very important saves. Just gets away from Andy Cole a fraction. I think if he's a yard earlier to the ball, he could have lifted it over the goalkeeper, but a great spread, a brave spread, keeps United out.
Beckham and Philip Neville trying to craft something down that Manchester United right that they did last weekend to open up the game against Leeds United to set up the crucial first goal in that game from Dwight York. Phil Neville's long throw, Keane's excellent flick, Manninger on the stretch, did well with the punch. Ljungberg finding a change of pace, and he kept his balance.
Oh, anything big's a ball.
Scholes would have been penalised if Ljungberg had gone down. Well, fascinating remains the word about this fixture.
And great quality, I have to say, the pace of the game, the quality that the players are having to play at. And some lovely football really is being played. I mean, you see the pressure that's been applied to whoever's on the ball. The fact that they're creating chances, these two teams, speaks volumes for the ability of the footballers.
Beckham. York. Beckham's pass. Scholes is so adept at darting forward from midfield. It's won back by Andy Cole. Arsenal thinks Scholes is coming back from an offside position. York has the shot, and Manninger turns it aside.
What a save, son. They're a little bit ragged, Arsenal, for the first time in the match on the edge of the box. But it's a pressure that keeps United going. It's a tight angle, but he doesn't hit it well. He won't hit many better than that, Dwight York. That's a wonderful save from Alex Manninger.
Beckham's corner. Oh, it was Berg and Cole.
Well, how Ryan Giggs misses the first header is beyond me. As he came in near post, I thought he's a free header, he's unmarked. It got past him, and then Berg comes in behind him, and Manninger again just somehow gets a hand to it. Well, we're 0-0, Martin, but how, I ask?
Scholes. Two teams, Manchester United will be the more disappointed they haven't scored. Brazilian play from Silvino.
That'll be the first booking of the match. There ain't a doubt about that now. Almost 40 minutes in.
Paul Scholes.
No option, the referee. None at all.
He might have been booked earlier had Ljungberg gone down in that Arsenal break.
Well, he's not the best tackler in the world, Paul. I think maybe not the best tackler, would be a bit harsh, but his judgment of when to go in and when to go to ground has let him down. He gets too many bookings, I think, for tackles like that.
Well, more live football for you tonight. Hearts against Aberdeen from Scotland. That's at 6 on Sky Sports 3. Barcelona against Real Zaragoza at 8 on Sky Sports Extra. And a reminder to all Sky Digital viewers, more interactive football on Sky Sports Extra tomorrow night with Leeds against Liverpool. Coverage starts at 7, Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. Pleasant August afternoon in North London, at high temperatures in this fixture. Arsene Wenger concerned about the state of Patrick Vieira then, but he's jogging back into place after some intensive treatment from Gary Lewin.
Yeah, I think you're right that Manchester United were the most disappointing, but I think Arsene Wenger will look at this game and say, I'm probably playing here without 5 of my first choice players. And I think he'll be pretty happy with the way his team have coped.
And Arsenal have a corner. And this one does go near post. Ljungberg with time to measure the shot, and it was going way off target.
Poor effort. Sat up beautifully for him to hit. Could have no complaints about the little setup. This is just set up quite beautifully. Checks, and well, not a difficult task to hit the target from there.
Arsenal shooting generally hasn't been from the top draw so far. But Van der Haar to emphasise the point. 2 terrific saves, one from this fella Kanu, and the earlier one from Henry. Bergkamp, Ljungberg, 1-0 to Arsenal, and Freddie Ljungberg does it against Manchester United for the second time in his short career in English football. The goal coming close to half-time.
It's a wonderful run from Ljungberg, but yet again, the vision of Bergkamp. He sees the run, he times the ball perfectly, and this time Van der Haar can do nothing. It's a beautiful strike across the goalkeeper towards the far post where you'd like people to hit, and he gets his reward. There's been some lovely football in this match, and it's taken another piece of lovely football to finally give us the first goal.
Well, it's certainly been a first half worthy of a goal. Both sides have looked capable of getting it. Arsenal have achieved it. He's only scored twice for the club, and they've both come against United.
He might get a game at Old Trafford later this season.
Henry. Here's Kanu. Bergkamp.
What a save. How many times am I going to say that in this half? But that's the tactic I talked about, Martin. It's Henry's ability to win a header, and Kanu's strength to hold him off. That's instinctive. He knows hardly anything about that, Raymond van der Haar. What an important stop will that be in the context of this game in about an hour's time.
Giggs. Ljungberg helping defend as well down the right-hand side. Bergkamp pulling away from Stam, but the pass didn't quite put him through. There was a case of treble Dutch then. Bergkamp, Stam and Van der Haar. The goalkeeper did, in the end, mop it up for Manchester United.
Well, I said to you at the beginning, I've been looking forward to this game all week. And this is why, when you get two teams playing, there's that wonderful leap from Thierry Henry. Great strength and vision from Kanu. And a just superb instinctive save from that man in picture.
Keane. And here's Upson reflecting a greater confidence about Arsenal. Henry. Silvinho on the move again. Only Kanu in the penalty area for the Gunners, though. Henry on the edge. Scholes holds him up. Parler. Bergkamp. Well, he saw Ljungberg's move. It would have been outrageous, really. He could have found him with a flick like that. And it was a way away from its target, the pass. Vieira. Not resting on their laurels before half-time, and Manchester United grateful that that's seen offside of.
He shouldn't be, Martin. He shouldn't be. He knows where Berg is. He should be taking his position off him. Look at him here. It's a yard ahead of play. If he gets himself a yard behind, he can still play the ball. He can still get in.
Well, it's a clash for the connoisseurs. There's no doubt about that. And Arsenal lead it at the moment. Berg. Calls for handball. Graham Poll pats his thigh to say that's where he thought the ball struck Henning Berg. Vieira, wonderful control, giving Beckham a taste of his own medicine. Henry, Bergkamp. Can he smuggle a pass out here for Kanu?
I'll tell you what, Alex wants half-time, and quickly. In a good half hour, Manchester United, but for 15 minutes, it's Arsenal that have called the tune. This again, Bergkamp working his way through. It's there to be hit. Didn't quite connect the way he would have liked.
Andy Cole hit the bar, remember. Ryan Giggs was played through brilliantly by Beckham and shot wide. Manninger saved from Cole and from York. And then Arsenal struck. And Alex Manninger has played a big part in this scoreline.
I think both goalkeepers have.
Stout. Arsenal want handball, and Graham Poll had a good view of it, one would have thought. And he's played a big part in it, the referee.
Yeah.
It's been a contest worthy of the billing.
Well, what he's done, the referee's let the players get on with it. He's taken as little part in the match as possible, and that's helped.
York. Beckham. And Vieira. Great responsibility. In fact, his biggest problem was avoiding one of his own teammates, Upson. Goes out off Kanu.
I think something happened in the touchline. Free kick was given very quickly. Linesman flagged.
Silvino looking mystified that the decision was given against him.
It's important at this stage in the match that David Beckham delivers with the goal if possible for Manchester United. Attack it.
That was Ray Parlour who got his head to it. Scholes was come off Keown and nearly sat up for Dwight York. Giggs. Keown clears. Half-time whistle goes at Highbury. Ljungberg the scorer. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 0.
Terrific stuff. And let me just explain a choice for Sky Digital viewers at half-time. If you're watching on Sky Sports Extra only, the stat service is available during the commercial break. When we return, you can look at those goals and incidents in more detail with Frank McClintock, Steve Bruce and myself, or first half highlights are available on either the highlights or the replay button. We'll be back on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra in just a moment. Two goals for Freddie Ljungberg in an Arsenal jersey, both against Manchester United, both at that end. And that one separates the teams this afternoon. Incidentally, if you want the various facts and figures that are available on this game, we're online now at www.skysports.co.uk. Steve Bruce and Frank McClintock with us this afternoon. One happy, one not so happy chappy, Stephen, but it's been a good half nevertheless, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, been a smashing half of football. I mean, the quality on show is just breathtaking. Some of the movement of both teams and the ability of what's on show today is mind-blowing at times.
And they've got you in front. Frank, the Gunners.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned the first 10-15 minutes. There didn't seem to be much flow about Arsenal, but they gradually settled down, and the goal itself was absolutely brilliant. It started with Dixon, I think, and then Vieira, and then Bergkamp, and this was a Cole's header, which was
I think United started really brightly. They passed it really, really well and looked sharp, and to be fair, they've had 2, 3, 4 opportunities where I expect them to score. I think if they keep making them chances, I think they will do. But to be fair, Arsenal have had some good chances too. I mean, Raymond van der Gaal has made some smashing saves.
But during that 15-20 minute spell when they were on top, Alex Ferguson would have wanted United to get a breakthrough, wouldn't he? That was crucial.
That's your time. When you're playing well, it's really important to score. I mean, here we see the Cole header. Now Giggsy on his wrong side. If that had been down his left-hand side, I think that might have gone in.
That's when I was getting a little bit concerned. The Arsenal back four seemed to be getting cut open a little bit too often, especially at home. And but gradually, it's funny enough, every time Manchester United, that was a Kanu shot, brilliant shot and a magnificent save there. Both goalkeepers have been tremendous, haven't they? They've made very, very important saves. But as Stevie says, there's so much individual talent. Even if the game isn't flowing at times, all of a sudden somebody will produce a bit of magic and it livens it right up.
And two of those individuals, Kanu and Bergkamp. You're just sitting here wondering about Dennis Bergkamp, rather you were.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
When is he going to have an effect on this game? And then he has a devastating effect on this game to set up the opening goal.
He does. I often find myself saying that about Dennis Bergkamp. I love to watch him actually, but there's a lot of times he's on the fringe of the game, and Stam early on was completely dominating him. But there's that ball there that he just lays off that leads to the goal, and he nearly scores a minute or so just after this himself as well. He's got so much quality, and Stevie was saying that as well. You can't ignore him, but just when you think he's going to be quiet, that was a chance just after the first goal, just before half-time.
If that goes in a word, does that finish the match?
I don't think it finishes the match, no, but it means it's very, very difficult for United. I mean, as we've seen there on the replays, some of the chances has been unbelievable for both sides. You know, 2-3 opportunities. I think Manchester's had more possession and better passing.
55% we saw as it went through, yeah.
And better possession, but Arsenal have looked a threat too.
The one booking Paul Scholes, Davos Shuker is warming up. Whether he plays, has a part to play or not, we will find as the afternoon goes on. Just a reminder about Sky Sports Extra, incidentally, if you're looking around for that, it's on 404, channel 404 on Sky Digital. That's Sky Sports Extra. We're back with the whole of the second half next. Manchester United 0. Freddie Ljungberg, the scorer. The second half about to get underway. And a reminder to all Sky Digital viewers that if you're watching on Sky Sports 1, this game is available in widescreen. If you're watching on Sky Sports Extra, that's channel 404. All 4 options on how to view are once again available at the touch of a button. This is the goal that separates the teams here, scored by Freddie Ljungberg. Watch the run. Created by both Kanu and Bergkamp. 2 goals he scored now in an Arsenal jersey, and they've both been at that end against Manchester United. Who are first back? Let's rejoin Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Well, those are the 2 that Manchester United will be looking at for this second half. United would set a new club record today if they avoid defeat, a 15th unbeaten away league game, surpassing Matt Busby's pre-Munich side of 1956. This side's last away defeat in the league at Hillsborough on the 21st of November last year. They trailed to Freddie Ljungberg.
They don't have a record like that, Martin, either, by accepting defeat in a match like this at half-time. That's why there is so much in this game, so much. If we get half as good a second half as we've had first half, I think we'll have been pretty much entertained all afternoon.
Well, you do look at the top clubs to set the right kind of standards, the top managers.
Well, he stayed upstairs, Alex, first half, didn't come down at all.
A goal to the good. Arsenal start the second half. Silvinho. Berg seemed very much in control for a good period of that first half, and then Arsenal began to assert themselves more. The forward movement was better. Bergkamp got into the game after a tentative beginning. Free kick to United. Wrong to overemphasise the reliance on York and Cole with the likes of Scholes, Roy Keane, a midfield man with an eye for those late runs into the penalty area.
Giggs, Beckham.
Yeah. There is Scholes. But it is York wondering whether he might get the first chance of the second half. He opted to pass the ball, then appeal for handball.
They back away as well, Arsenal defenders, when it goes to Dwight Yorks and he takes it in his chest. He might have had an opportunity to pull the trigger.
Scholes. Could run back to Giggs, so he returned it to Dwight York and Ryan Giggs. One of the easier offside decisions that we'll see in the Premiership. Well, there's plenty to go here at Highbury, but Arsenal in their camp do have the belief, and the records prove it, that they have a group of players capable of beating Manchester United. Took 4 points off them in the league last season, 6 points off them in the league the previous season, beaten them twice in Charity Shields. Vieira, Silvinho. Too elaborate. Parla in barnstorming fashion. He has the shot. There was another option available, but from that position you couldn't blame him for blasting away at goal. Ljungberg was just to his right.
Yeah, I think he took the right option, Martin. I think when you see it develop here, I think Ljungberg gets tracked. I think Dennis Irwin backs away with Ljungberg. I think he took the right option. He's not far away. Good effort.
Arsenal will want to pick up where they left off at half-time. Manchester United will have happy memories, or happier memories, of the opening half an hour. And they consistently gave Alex Manninger a chance to work, and Alec Ferguson. It is Alec, by the way, that's how he chooses to pronounce it, though it's spelt Alex. Get one or two letters on that subject. I'm assuming it's Alex Manninger, not being a Scot. Pushed by Upson. Certainly York saw it that way, but the referee didn't. By Dixon. Scholes rising well. Cole. Martin Keown and Andy Cole, both the Arsenal juniors. And Cole had to go away to make a name for himself. The same for Keown, really. He came back via Villa and Everton to play with Tony Adams. He left because he didn't think he'd get a game because of Tony Adams. Stab. The goalkeeper to come, Van der How did, but Owen didn't think he could get there in the end. Vieira saw Van der How out of his goal, and it was a reasonable situation to try the shot. Ball's actually gone out for a throw.
Yeah, good kick for touch, wasn't it? Can squeeze in now, put some pressure on. In areas like this, I think you focus on just trying to make it difficult for the defending side to get the ball out. You see how many red shirts that Arsenal have put in there. That's their intention, and that's what they've done.
Well, the midfield man, Ray Parlour, got the winner at Wembley for Arsenal against Manchester United. A midfield man has scored here against the self-same United today. Whether that's just a little indication of Arsenal's emphasis this season. Talked about the lack of the explosive pace of Nicolas Anelka through the centre. And it is a loss, there's no doubt about that. Arsene Wenger didn't want him to go. But he's got Henry. He's got some support on the right-hand side. The pass just made Ljungberg check. Bergkamp. Kanu. Craft an opening here. Kanu had one terrific shot in the first half from outside of the penalty area. That didn't come into the same category. Great mutual respect between the two managers, despite the fact that occasionally there's been a bit of sniping.
They both like winning, Martin.
Didn't quite get there because Andy Cole, quick and elusive, and running into trouble. Dixon's back pass. Bit of a stumble by Berg, and the second time a foul by Bergkamp. And Philip Neville. Scholes.
Good reach from Martin Keown. That was a beautifully flighted ball from Paul Scholes.
Hasn't seen a lot of the ball, Andy Cole, but his movement has been very sharp and incisive. That was the case then, and that's why Keown's intervention there was so important for Arsenal. This time it's York. getting behind Keogh. Missed to put him against the touchline. Dixon also, but York's too slippery for them. Closing down well as a team though, and forcing Henningberg to just poike it forward.
Excellent pressure.
Silvino, Henry, Bergkamp got Silvino with him, but not quite there. It's taken some of the edge off the attack, has it? Silvino takes on Keane. Cut out by Phil Neville, who sensibly kept his arm by his side.
And that's harsh. That's harsh. That was a good claim from me. I'm sure Frank McClintock would agree, and sure that was just centre back getting a good run, being very determined. Got up early, won a good header.
He signed a couple of English players, Arsene Wenger. Matthew Upson is one of those, which is a concern in the game. The foreign coaches knowing maybe more about the market around Europe than in this country. Of course, managers aren't dealing financially on an even playing field in that respect with the transfer fees. And homegrown players are more costly. But it's something that's got to be balanced out somewhere, you feel, for the good of the English game. Berg pointing his finger at Graham Poll there, feeling that Bergkamp, there was an earlier incident which I described as a stumble, which Berg, I think, felt was a foul by Bergkamp.
I think he just thought he was backing in there, Dennis Bergkamp, just to win the header.
And doing it regularly. Henry. Bergkamp and Berg resume their duel. Henningberg sticks out a foot, goes across maybe with a bit of gamesmanship to get the ball, thinking that he would get the throw. But he's not going to get it. Keane's clearance only as far as Parla. Vieira. Henry for Patrick Vieira. Wonderful play from the Frenchman again. Stands up the cross. Bit too deep for Ljungberg. He is a sight to behold, Vieira. Keogh. It's clipped but kept going. Vieira gets rid of it quickly this time. Bergkamp, who may well have been crossing. Henry was in the centre, but Van der Haar had to help it on its way. And Arsenal with a positive opening 10 minutes in the start of the second half.
Too much space for them to pass and move and run into. This just comes off the outside of his left foot. There's a ball into Henry at the front post. If you can pick him out, he's free. He's ahead of Yapstam. Goalkeeper dealt with it quite comfortably.
Parla. Oh, against the post by Upson. Back for Bergkamp. Trying to power past Philip Neville, but he careered into him.
Well,
so close.
again. Not a great chance. It's instinctive from Matthew Upson. He just throws a left foot at it. You can see him just bend his run round the back. Vieira takes Berg, his marker, out of it. Let off for United.
They look to capitalise on it. Giggs, Scholes. Great ball by Beckham. Andy Cole, York flags up.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see again. We're not right in line. That man is. Now, is it going in without York's help? Is he offside? Has he taken the chance when he didn't need to? These pictures will tell the story. Flag stayed down there, but goes up there. York is offside. The ball looks like it's drifting wide. The linesman spot on.
It remains at 1-0. It could easily be 2-1. York.
And that was a little reminder, though, Martin, of Arsenal getting confident or overconfident because of the good start to the half. But United only need something like a Beckham cross, and there's a chance there for them.
Well, Andy Cole was unmarked at the back post. Beckham's corner. Headed out by Patrick Vieira. But the second half, we're all pleased to say, very much in keeping with the quality of the first. Ljungberg seizing on Van der Haal's clearance. Arsenal looking to defend their lead by attacking. So nearly lost it.
And be prepared for the pace of this game just to pick up from now on. United know they need a goal. They do have to go chasing it. The nature of the Arsenal side we're seeing today is very much, if we get a chance to counter, then we will throw players forward at pace.
The interception by Jaap Stam for United. Cole. Oh, and if that had been played more centrally, Ryan Giggs would have been in.
Less angle, yeah.
Upson and Silvinho still trying to forge an understanding. You could understand that because they played so little together. Silvinho's header. United.
Like Arsenal's goal, it's a midfield player who gets involved, makes a long run, and eventually gets picked out. They actually give it away in midfield, but there goes Keane. He doesn't stop his run. Upson decides to check whether he's looking to play him offside. I'm not sure, but he checks after tracking him so far. The little ball played in from Andy Cole was superbly weighted. And yet again, when you're looking for someone to go across a goalkeeper to really test him, Roy Keane does just that.
Well, the speculation goes on that Alex Ferguson will be looking for a new captain next season. But for the moment, Roy Keane very much a man of Manchester United. And can we trace that back to a bit of over-ambition from Patrick Vieira?
Well, they lost it, didn't they, right in the centre, just about 35 yards from goal when he flicked it over Keane's head first of all, but only flicked it straight to Paul Scholes. Off they went, great pace, great direct play in the move. Very similar, both goals.
Arsenal's free kick, Bergkamp takes it. Van der Haar in the continental way, opts for the fist. Vieira asking too much of Ljungberg. Well, Roy Keane has kept his inquisitors at bay by keeping his contract options open. That won't stop the speculation though. But one thing you can say about Roy Keane, when he's out on the football pitch, his focus is total. Any debates or disputes or disappointments in negotiations put well to the back of the mind.
Well, United about to make the first change in the match. Well, it looks like Nicky Butt from here. But who will they take off? It's Paul Scholes.
Scholes does carry the handicap of a yellow card from the first half. Nicky Butt, I recall last year's game here when he was sent off.
What's good about these two, Mark, we have 30 minutes left of the match, and although it's got back to 1-1, we're going to have 30 minutes when both of these teams are going to try and win the match. They both want 3 points, they'll both try and get them. Of that, I'm convinced.
Keane. And that reflects attitudes, Andy, but should also point out the ability of the creative areas of the teams. Very difficult for defenders so far in this opening hour. Silvinho. Vieira. Now Lee Dixon. Ljungberg. Plenty of players forward for Arsenal again. Dixon. Roy Keane's head. The goalkeeper's got a problem because the ball's bounced out of the area, so he had to go for a header. It was a pretty good attempt in the circumstances. He's back on his line now. It's Vieira doing something in cavalier fashion. Bergkamp, and he went down the second time. And again, Berg is irritated with Dennis Bergkamp, and attempts that he believes are to deceive the referee.
Had a pretty good look at that, Graham Paul. Well, it just happened quickly. It looks to flick it on Dennis Bergkamp and go and join it again. And what he's saying there, you can see the left arm of Berg just holding him back. To be fair to Graham Paul, where he was stood, absolutely no chance of seeing that. That's what upset Bergkamp.
Silvinho. Now Dixon. Bergkamp to take on Stam. We might have seen that trick or two before. Vieira. Henry. Kanu. Can't get a shot in. Vieira's there. Trying to roll it through for Kanu. Berg just got it away. Arsenal press on once more. Silvinho's cross, tempting the goalkeeper out, and good judgment from Raymond van der Haal, not for the first time today.
Well, I don't often toss a ball in like that from wide. Arsenal look to try and feed it and play it along the ground. They almost got through.
It's difficult to call, but referee ruling in York's favour. Keane. Arsenal haven't lost a home game in the league since December '97 when Blackburn won here. Nicky Butt trying to put them behind.
Always wide. It's a decent strike though from Nicky Butt. Gets a little bit of space you wouldn't expect him to have there, but never really threatening Alex Manager.
Arsenal have reacted well to losing the equaliser. Kanu.
That would be a booking.
Henningberg's tried to get away, but that blast on the whistle, he knows he's got to turn and accept the yellow card.
Kanu just uses the spin of the ball to turn this player. And he's away, he's going, he's leaving Berg, and he just gets hauled to the ground. I don't think he can have any arguments about that.
Graham Paul might just be getting a bit fed up with Henningberg's finger pointing from earlier in the half as well. The capable referee is getting on with the job and should be left alone to do that. Bergkamp with the free kick. Much bending into Van der Haal's territory.
Too much here. If it's just dropping back post, it needed to be a bit flatter than that. The little cheer you heard just a moment ago, I think, was for Davor Suker. Just been asked to go and do a bit of limbering, a bit of warming up.
Cleared by Upson. And again Berg says to the referee, come on, do something about Bergkamp. And look at this. Well, this eyeball to eyeball has been coming, really, and Henningberg is playing a dangerous game. He's got the decision. He's a defender who normally plays with the true Scandinavian calm and doesn't usually get involved in loss of composure such as we're seeing here.
He doesn't. Oh, they worked that well, and Dwight York's giving it away. Beckham and Phil Neville out the game.
Ljungberg very much in the game. Keane getting back and Butt alongside him. Henry winding himself up. Flicks off Keane. Dixon. Parler. Almost there for Beckham to cut it out, but pass just bent away to Vieira. Ljungberg clips it in. He doesn't win many of those. All is 6'6". Looks a threat when the ball comes to him on the deck, in truth, which is most unusual for a man of his size.
I just think there are so many times when the ball gets back to good areas in the Arsenal team, you think, well, one touch and put it in there. Because I don't think they believe they have the ability to win those type of headers and score goals. They didn't last couple of seasons with Anelka, Martin. And I think what we've seen from Kanu, they don't feel they have it yet. Maybe with Suka, if he plays any prominent part this season, then they might have that option.
Brought away by Butt. Beckham. Key. Cole looking for that understanding with York again. Owen. He's probably allowed that one. Away Graham Poll has set out his stall today. Silvino. Henry. Still more than 20 minutes to go. 1-1 at Highbury.
And very narrow left side. Henry went infield. Ljungberg had no options.
Vieira. Ljungberg, superb turn. In keeping with this contest. Oh, Henry pulled away. Bergkamp. Flag was up in any case. Wouldn't have counted.
It's a lovely ball. At last he put one in. And Henry did what he's did for most of the match against Phil Neville, and the ball's been in the air. He won it.
Parler taking a risk, and Arsenal losing it in midfield in a dangerous area again. Is it going to cost them another goal? Giggs, but this is York. Giggs is still there, scrambled away by Arsene Wenger's men. Bergkamp. He seemed to pick the wrong angle for the pass, which is most unusual for him.
Lack of weight as well. Never had enough pace on the ball. Great run from Vieira. What energy that lad's got.
He's only 23, Andy. You've forgotten what it's like.
No, I haven't. I'm still 23, mentally.
Absolutely. And I hope you'll stay that way for the rest of your life. Mark Overmars, who's done some damage to Manchester United in the past. Who's regained full fitness.
Kanu.
Kanu hasn't had one of his more effective days.
I just wonder if we see Henry go through the middle now, alongside Bergkamp. I think that's worth putting his pace right there and say to Overmars, go play your normal position. We'll very quickly find out. Yeah, a little signal to Henry up front.
Arsenal developing their squad. Overmars would expect to be in the starting 11 more often than not, but he's not been fully fit. Oh, and Cole and Keown. It's a good race. It's not over yet, and Martin Keown kept going.
Brilliant that was. That's what this game's been all about. That was superb recovery from Keown. For a moment, everyone thought Cole was through, but just look at this, and then it's a race. Go on, lads. Great stuff.
Parler. Henry. Thierry Henry does prefer playing up front, and he's talked about his usefulness in the air. We've seen glimpses of his threatening pace.
I think it's something we might see, Martin. I think that Bergkamp and Kanu are very similar footballers.
Giggs. Hobson was up for that particular examination. Beckham. Charity Shield, of course. It was Manchester United who scored first and lost. Is it going to be a mirror image here at Highbury of what happened at Wembley? Arsenal have lost track of Dwight York.
Oh, hit it again. I don't know whether he had control of it, and he's back here to us, but when he pulled it down, I thought he's got to hit that.
And Beckham now has talked his way into trouble.
Yeah, I think when you go eyeball to eyeball with the official, then it's difficult for the referee to ignore that. That was a little nudge where the flag went up for. There he goes.
He also kicked the ball away, but it was look and words of dissent to Paul Canadine that led to the booking. He's also booked for dissent in the Charity Shield against Arsenal.
Strong, son. Stand there again, out-muscled. Bergkamp.
Yes, Bergkamp turned his back away at the end, and wasn't the best piece of body language to witness if you're an Arsenal follower. Forced forward by Butt. Silvinho, Ljungberg. Oh, Philip Neville has a different type of problem here. And Mark Overmars making an immediate impact by threatening the Manchester United right back, producing that high challenge and the booking for Philip Neville. Overmars to take the free kick himself. Headed away by ball. Overmars again. Beckham looking to help Philip Neville here. And Keane. But Overmars has still got it. Header by Berg. Oh, Dennis Bergkamp maybe saw Thierry Henry and thought he could just pop the ball into his path then. Parler. Ljungberg trying to take on Irwin. Just over 15 minutes left. 1-1 at Highbury. Classic battle between the top two from the past two seasons. Bergkamp. And Philip Neville did well. Got a pat on the head from his captain as thanks. Just been booked, difficult situation, but he got to the ball.
Stays on his feet, that's the important thing then. Managed to get his body between Bergkamp and the ball. A bit surprised Henry's taking this, Mark. He's decent in the air, he's shown that already. I think you take him out the middle to take a corner.
Fine header away for United by Henningberg. Silvinho played that blind, I think, without looking up. Keown. Parler. Still trying to press Manchester United into their own penalty area. Parler reacting in sprightly fashion. Overmars. Henry. Towards Overmars again. And stand there before Bergkamp. Parler. Good work by Henningberg as he was being fouled by Thierry Henry, and Arsenal want to make another change.
I think that'll be Henry's last contribution, Martin. If Suka's coming on, I guess Henry will be the one who makes way for him.
Well, it's been an extraordinary arrival for the Croatian into English football. He's done all his training in France while waiting for a work permit. Arsene Wenger's got a guru out there who's sharpened him up. So he hasn't been seen at Arsenal Football Club since the transfer was completed. The top scorer in the World Cup finals of '98. And it's going to be a change for Manchester United because Andy Cole's being replaced by Teddy Sheringham. And in passing, it is Sheringham's 600th senior club appearance. And if he was to get a winning goal here, it would knock his previous club, Tottenham, off the top of the table. Man of the match. It's another thought. Not an easy one. 09, 009, 11, 22, 33. It's your vote, of course. Here is Teddy Sheringham.
That's what I mean about the match, Martin. Both managers have made changes designed to win the match, not just to protect what they have.
Would you put the Butt change for Scholes in that category?
Yeah, I think Scholes' effectiveness wasn't as great as it has been in other games, Martin. And Nicky Butt is a competitor. He might have been worried about Vieira and Parla in the first half. And Nicky Butt will get forward and can score goals himself.
He was forward then. Here is Shuka. Played an international yesterday. Overmars quickly on the scene. Arsenal with Parla backing up the play. Stout work from Stam.
Oh, what a right leg out that was. It's an important interception.
Vieira. Oh, Shuka! He's done it before from that distance in his portfolio of goals for his country, for his clubs at home in Croatia and in Spain, of course, in more recent times. What an arrival, Andy, that would have been.
It would have been. Got great vision. I mean, Van der Houw's only 10 yards out.
Lovely control by Sheringham. Giggs. And Ryan Giggs trying to take on Arsenal at 1-1, as he famously has done before. Well, if this does finish 1-1, it won't be for the want of trying by the two teams. A little bit of anger from the Manchester United bench. The fourth official, Peter Jones, trying to block off Alex Ferguson's view of Graham Poll. Simply red mist at the moment. Not from him, though. And no sign of a red card. Irwin with the free kick. Here's Sheringham. Giggs blocked by Dixon. Giggs tries again now. 4 in the centre for Manchester United. Irwin. Trying to fire it across.
Yeah, obviously took a deflection, Martin. This corner's been given.
Ten minutes to go. Oh, and David Beckham exchanging his views with the crowd in that part of the ground. Hopefully the ball came back quickly and he could take the corner. Shuka. Silvino. Over Mars. Shuka. Arsenal's turn to push men forward in search of a winner here. Headed away by Irwin. Silvino hunts back possession for the Gunners. Bergkamp's cross. Henningberg, a little unsure, probably needed a call. Knocking it on its way, and it stayed in play via the corner flag. Ljungberg reacting quickly. Overmars. There's a corner now. Frederick Ljungberg gave Arsenal a lead 4 minutes before half-time. Roy Keane has equalised in the second half. That's where we are, inside the last 10 minutes at Highbury. Another masterpiece of a match between Arsenal and Manchester United. Stam. Keen to measure the pass. Beckham letting the weight on the ball do some of the work for him, sent tumbling by Parla. That's the booking. Beckham wanting to keep the game going with a quick free kick. Three players here, if fit, certain to be in Kevin Keegan's plans for the upcoming pair of internationals against Luxembourg at Wembley and the away match in Poland, start of September. Vieira on the prod. Beckham. And that superb technique again, trying to nutmeg Patrick Vieira.
I can't agree with that decision, I have to say. I think Vieira's a little unlucky that a free kick's given against him. Goes for the nutmegs here. David Beckham, when it comes back through the legs of Patrick Vieira. The ball just doesn't get there.
Beckham's free kick dealt with by Arsenal. Trying the counter charge here. Trying to keep it for United, and he's done that. Irwin. Giggs. Sheringham. Martin Keown getting worked about a bit by Dwight York then. The referee saw nothing wrong. Key. Silvino stuck out a foot, but Manchester United pick out Beckham. Brilliant cross. In goes Butt. Manchester United feel that he was impeded. Certainly their supporters did. Beckham goes down. This is Ryan Giggs.
Well, it's all going off here, I tell you. Vieira and Keane.
Referee didn't know whether to stop the game or allow it to play for any perceived advantage by him.
Stam's get involved. I think it depends on what the referee has seen here.
And Stam refusing to be dragged away by his own teammates.
Well, they should get out of the way. The ref had gotten a grip of it.
Well, there are players out there who do play right on the edge. Roy Keane amongst them. That's the essence of their game, the essence of their careers, really. It's not been a game full of spiteful violence, it must be said.
There hasn't. There hasn't been a flashpoint in the game. A bit of bother. Now we'll see. Exactly. Graham Paul's looking away, and is he looking at the ball? Is he looking at... Well, this depends. Exactly in what he saw.
If he saw that as a butt, Vieira has to go off. Graham Paul has sent him off before. A couple of seasons ago at Chelsea. But he's contented himself, the referee, with a real dressing down. I think Roy Keane was just saying there, what did you do that for? But, anyway, on we go at 1-1. Keane kicked out, that's why Vieira was provoked. Well, that cannot excuse such aggressive reaction. But for the most part, these two ultra-competitive men have concentrated on what they do very well, which is playing football and not harming each other.
Certainly for 87 minutes they have. Been a pretty impressive match. There's nothing between these two for 2 seasons now. And I think what we've seen today already, there's nothing between them this season.
All live football tonight. Hearts v Aberdeen from Scotland on Sky Sports 3. Barcelona against Real Zaragoza from Spain at 8 on Sky Sports Extra. And a reminder to all you Sky Digital viewers, more interactive football on Sky Sports Extra tomorrow night. Leeds against Liverpool, our Monday night match. Here's David Beckham for United. A real fight to the finish here. Parlour. That's a fine tackle by Giggs. Bringing the initiative back for Manchester United. Roy Keane gets a second!
How would you believe it? The game's deserved a finish, Martin, it really has. But it's a stroke of fortune. It's a huge deflection on the ball, on the shot from Ryan Giggs. But again, they get robbed. Ray Parlour get robbed in the middle of midfield. And United just sprung with pace. Now watch Roy Keane. All he does when they win is go. There's nothing in his mind but driving and hoping something falls his way. It does. And what a cool head. Nothing but composure from Roy Keane here. As it drops to him. Want to steady it outside of the right foot. That surely must win the match for Manchester United.
Well, the debate about what Roy Keane is worth has been going on in the Manchester United boardroom. His worth today, it seems, priceless for Manchester United. "90 seconds plus stoppage time."
There'll be a bit of stoppage time, Martin. We're hearing something in the region of 4 minutes, so we're talking 5 minutes for Arsenal to rescue this football match.
Arsenal with this amazing record at Highbury, but it's really under threat now. Teddy Sheringham, Giggs coming in. If Sheringham could have just played that a little earlier, he could have really rolled it into Giggs' run. The way you rolled in a putt against him in the summer, he was telling me, Andy. Is that right?
I did.
Schuker. Here's Overmars. Manchester United 30 seconds plus stoppage time away from returning to the top of the table.
Now I'm looking over, the board's about to go. You can't believe it, Arsene Wenger. Peter Jones, fourth official, just waiting. 4 minutes is going to be.
Oh, Manica has thudded that into Matthew Upson. It's poleaxed him.
4 minutes it is, Martin. It's been signalled.
Oh, whether this stoppage, of course, that will be taken into account as well. Give Arsenal just a chance to have a word about philosophy here. But there are some heads hanging with shirts, players in shirts of red and white. Arsene Wenger's head slumped a moment or two ago, if ever a moment summed up what losing a fixture like this is. That was it.
That's a lovely finish. Look who's nearest to him as well, Keane. Patrick Vieira, but a yard away.
Well, he might just have a great night out tonight up at Haydock Park.
Well, Arsenal won this tie last year, this fixture. They didn't go on and win anything. I said before, this early in the season, Alex will know and does know that it doesn't win you titles yet. But when you see how close these two have been over the years, 2 points and 1 point separated them over the last 2 seasons. And it's a big, big win.
And you can look at the matches between the two clubs. Andy Cole's equaliser up at Old Trafford in February. If Arsenal had won that game, which they looked as though they were going to do, they would have won the league. Judgment, though, comes later. Very early in the season. But that won't stop the sweetness of success for Manchester United. This clash of the Titans. Stout. Here's Martin Keough. Dixon. Schuker. With a bounce beat Henningberg, but he got helped because it also induced Bergkamp to stretch and trip the Norwegian.
Well, I wonder if Arsenal have got one more attack, one more build-up in them that can fashion a chance for them.
Again, full of speculation about Roy Keane's future today. One suggesting that there's a done deal with Juventus, but I know what the Manchester United fans would think. Pay him what he wants. Now, Patrick Vieira. He's not going to get away from this scot-free, surely.
Well, the throw's given against him.
There he is. He's taken a lenient line, Graham Poll, and for the most part, it has been a major contribution to this being a marvellous game of football.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's contributed the referee, a great spectacle today.
And reluctant to apply the letter of the law, and one can only hope some of his colleagues see this as an example.
Somehow I fear not. Now, have they got a chance? Upson's up, Keown's up. A good ball, so important.
Taken by Silvino. Oh, what a good catch. Raymond van der Houw has stepped into the shoes of Mark Bosnich, and you really haven't noticed any conceivable difference. And in fact, in far as kicking's concerned, it's a difference for the better.
You can't think that Bosnich would have saved the goal. It's the only flaw in Van der Houw's game today. Everything else he's done has been first class. Been big performances all over the pitch today from both sides.
Manchester United bossed the opening half an hour. Then they went a goal down. Arsenal started the second half brightly and looked good for a second goal. But Roy Keane has stepped in with a wonderful captain's contribution. And Manchester United have a 2-1 lead to defend here in stoppage time. A Bergkamp free kick. Upson! Keown!
No way that will be allowed, Martin. No way that will be allowed.
Well, Graham Poll is running away from the incident to get away, I think, from Arsenal protests.
Now, I don't know whether he's going to the linesman to ask, was it over the line?
Was Upson's effort over the line?
If Upson's effort is over, of course it will be given. I cannot believe that Martin Keown's follow-up will have been judged as legal and will be the equaliser. The ball was not over the line. Read his lips. It's a free kick. Manchester United right on the goal line.
Well, it's been a wonderful match of fine margins, never more so than at this moment.
Well, here it is. It's a great climb by Upson. It's a good hit. It's another good save, but it's not over. Well, you just can't do that, I'm afraid.
The delay is mostly down to some treatment for Raymond van der Houw, who kept out the original header and trapped the ball with his hands on it, right by the line.
I think when you see him fall over like that, he does an incredibly good job, the goalkeeper. His momentum is going back, but he manages to keep hands. Then there's both hands on the ball.
Loses it, there it goes back, got it. If Martin Keown had got there a fraction of a second earlier, I think it would be 2-2.
I don't think he'd ever lost it sufficiently from where the referee was, Martin, in normal time.
One hand counts?
Well, you know, I just think the referee would have seen it no matter what had happened there, unless the hands had clearly come off it as an offence.
It's a real talking point, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but it's been typical of this game, isn't it? It's been absolutely brilliant, this football match. It's had everything. I mean, you just wonder, could Upson have actually done any better with the original header? It's a little bit close to the goalkeeper. And I think from Graham Poll's point of view, his only question to his assistant on the far side was it over the line? He saw the linesman, it didn't cross the line, Therefore, it'll be a free kick.
But Manchester United are losing goalkeepers by the week. Raymond van der Houw finishes this match a few crucial seconds it may be, before it actually finishes. And on comes 21-year-old Nick Culkin. Well, Arsenal will hope that they can just test out his nerve. He was signed from York City, his hometown club. Manchester United play, remember they've got these flurry of games coming up. Coventry on Wednesday, Lazio in the European Super Cup on Friday, Newcastle at home next Monday, but they go into those matches by winning here at Highbury, a most significant victory. They have shattered Arsenal's proud Premiership home record, the first team to win here in the league since Blackburn 20 months and 30 matches ago. And the man who's done it, Roy Keane, the captain, who might be heading for foreign parts but has committed himself to the Manchester United cause well and truly for the rest of this season, epitomising the statement that he put out last weekend. And just for good measure, Andy, it takes them back to the top of the table.
It's been a fascinating afternoon. I think what these two have shown, Martin, to the rest of the Premiership, that's the benchmark. If you want to win the Championship, you've got to beat these two, not just one of them, these two. They'll run each other very, very close again, all things being equal, with injuries, suspensions, etc. There's nothing between them, but on the day, United had Roy Keane. It's as simple as that.
Freddie Ljungberg got the Arsenal goal. Along came Keane, and the points go to Old Trafford.
And a reminder that there's more live interactive football tomorrow night. From 7, it's Leeds against Liverpool, exclusively live on Sky Sports 1 and live and interactive for Sky Digital viewers on Sky Sports Extra. And on Friday night, there's the first of our live interactive matches from the Football League as Stockport take on Birmingham City. Still to come tonight, 2 more live matches over on Sky Sports 3 now. It's Hearts against Aberdeen, and at 8 o'clock on Sky Sports Extra, it's Barcelona against Real Zaragoza. Normal live coverage of that one. Well, what a finish. And Manchester United have won it to go back to the top of the Carling Premiership. Result of the man of the match vote, the thoughts of Frank McClintock, Steve Bruce, and the reaction comes next. Well, Manchester United winners at Highbury by 2-1. Roy Keane with both those goals, and I would have thought that swung man of the match. It has the keeper polled well, so too did Patrick Vieira of Arsenal, but Roy Keane has won it with 36% of the vote. Frank McClintock and Steve Bruce here. Lee Welpod, incidentally, picks up the replica jersey today, so well done to you, Lee. Did anybody deserve to lose that? Steve, let's start here.
Well, it was very, very even, wasn't it? I mean, it was very even, and I think the turning point was obviously when the lads hit the post to make it 2-0 from the, and 2 minutes later Manchester up the other end, making it 1 each. You know,
in truth, since that moment, Frank, they weren't really a threat, Arsenal, were they? They didn't get near again.
Upson had that great first-time shot hit the post, and they didn't. But it was an even Stevens game.
He's a bit shell-shocked, isn't he?
I'm absolutely gutted. I'm absolutely gutted, to tell the truth. But I tell you what, I thought the game was terrific. There were so many good points in the game to watch: individual performances, individual skill. Jack Stam hasn't even been mentioned as the man of the match. I mean, I thought he was outstanding throughout. You know.
Well, the debate here was...
He looks quite a good fighter as well.
Was it him or Keane? And he can handle himself, as you say. Yeah. But 2 of the absolute juggernauts in the Premiership.
As we've seen with the quality, I mean, the attempts on goal, I mean, there's Andy Cole just hitting the ball, first one on. And the attempts on goal and the chances what is created in the game is just down to the sheer quality on the pitch. I mean, some of the stuff that people were doing was breathtaking at times.
Steve and I were just saying that it's more like a continental game now, the way they're playing with all the foreign international stars. It's
a continental game with English pace, though,
yes,
and English drama.
Yes, it is. It's still got that magic of the English game, but it's got that class and skill factor, higher skill factor that the continentals seem to possess as well. And it was some wonderful moments out of nothing. That's what was happening. Just out of sheer bits of magic, Canu on the ball here,
And I think aided and abetted, he's in centre of screen, so we should mention him, by the referee, who, as Andy said, could have made it a very different game, kept his card in his pocket for a long time, and reacted sensibly to everything, didn't he?
I think to start with the game, of course there's going to be a few tackles going about, and if you start booking 4 and 5 people within the first 5-10 minutes, then you're going to be down to 8-9 aside, you know. So I think fair play to him. He let it
flow. He obviously talked to people. We saw that, didn't we?
Yeah.
And perhaps by the letter of the law should have sent Patrick Vieira off, but if he had done, we'd have all been saying, well, why did he do that?
Well, it's nice to see a referee. I thought he was a little bit at fault with Patrick Vieira. I'm glad he didn't send him off. But I think when you put the head on someone, you're automatically got to go.
Absolutely.
But up until that point, I thought he had refereed, generally speaking, very well. And it's nice to see referees not getting the yellow cards out all the time. So it kept the game flowing.
I think all of us in the game just want that common sense to prevail, and that seems to have gone away. Just the common sense which you use today and think, well, it's Man United Arsenal, there's going to be a few challenges. I think that's why all the crowd and everybody on the TV, that's what we love to see.
Youngberg got Arsenal in front. 2 goals in an Arsenal jersey now for Freddie, both at that end, both against Manchester United. During a good 10-15 minute spell for Arsenal as well.
Yeah, they did, and just after they scored, now here's another great save from Van der Oel. I mean, it looks as if he's got a nasty facial injury, so I thought he's performed excellently today. He didn't look out of pace at all. He's handling, he's kicking, his distribution, everything was top class today from him.
He's had a couple of years with the master, hasn't he? Peter
Yeah, and
Schmeichel.
he looks every bit, and he's waited patiently, but you can see, 37 years of age, he's in tip-top condition, the lad. Looked after himself.
I mean, look at that there, that's Upson. Just before half-time, they could have went 2 up, Arsenal, and just after half-time, they could have gone 2 up.
And the difference between a goal and not is a coat of paint there, isn't it?
That's right, as a post.
York thought he'd scored, but as we saw, he was offside. Cole perhaps should have done, shouldn't he?
Yeah, it was a good chance for Andy Cole here. If you see, look, 6 yards out, another wonderful ball by Dave Beckham. 6 yards out, I think he's looking to just head it back into that bottom corner, but he's misheaded it a little bit. And I don't think there's any doubt that Dwight's offside this time. But here's the goal, they just get caught. They get caught twice in midfield.
Didn't he? That word Andy always uses, gambled.
Yeah, look, he's powering into the box again. Look, running past 3, 4, 5 people. Give me the ball.
I think young Upson should have kept with him at that time. I think he stopped at one stage.
And he was screaming for offside as well.
Yeah,
again,
and then
he wasn't, was
yeah,
he? Here we go.
He tried to
Keane's a bit high and has a swing. Vieira comes in with his head. Perhaps, as you say, Frank, should have gone by the letter of the law.
I think so.
But 4 minutes from the end, such a mammoth tussle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pleased he didn't really, but I mean, generally speaking, that is always a sending off offence. But there he is again, Keane, you know, straight through, 2 goals. Among all this controversy as well, and he can still produce in a top-class game 2 terrific goals. That was the time Vieira had the ball for ages and then passed it, and Ray Parlour lost it about 30 yards out.
I think they'll be totally, really disappointed, Arsenal, with giving the ball away, losing possession 30 yards out in the middle of the park, and it's such a dangerous area. And now, as I said, I think there's no doubt that the ball wasn't over the line.
Not over the line, and only one hand on it until the moment Keown arrived. So.
Yeah, we just hope that...
what a jump by Upson here. Look at the height he gets up.
It's a great save again. As we said, Raymond van der Gaul's done really well, and if you look, he catches his knee, it looks like. So we hope he's...
Yeah, we wish him well. It did look a nasty one.
He was
nasty
superb,
big bump as he came off. So the Carling Premiership, Wednesday at bottom, Derby and Newcastle down there with them with only a point apiece. Liverpool play tomorrow night on the Monday Night Football, and when did we last see them down there? Ahead of them with 4 points, Sunderland, Leicester, Everton, Bradford and Coventry, and Wimbledon make up the bottom half. Big change, of course, is at the top. Arsenal, 8th, 7 points from 4 played. Ahead of them, West Ham, Leeds, Villa, Chelsea, Middlesbrough, Tottenham, who were top today, but back on top of the pile, Manchester United. And here's the man of the match, Roy Keane.
Roy, cool finishing. Were you expecting to get those chances?
No, not really. Usually we were under the cosh a little bit. We know we only got a few chances, so fortunate enough, you know, it fell nicely for me, especially the second one. And you know, against Arsenal, you've really got to take your chances.
Were you going for the win at the end? A point wasn't good enough?
Well, we always obviously tried to win the match, tried to win matches. I suppose at the end of the day, a draw wouldn't have been too bad. But you know, still early days yet. You know, I think it could have been probably 4 each at half time. Both teams giving each other plenty of chances, which is not really like us, you know, or Arsenal. So you know, there's a lot of things to sort out. But again, obviously, to come down to Arsenal and get a win is great.
Doesn't guarantee the title, does it? But does it have a bearing?
Obviously, at the end of the season, if we beat them by a couple of points, we'll say it will. But the old cliche, you know, there's a long way to go yet. And again, to come to Arsenal to get 3 points is great, because our record over the last few years has been pretty poor down here.
The manager said to me before the game, you have a great ability to turn off when you go on the pitch and just concentrate on the game, despite what's happening off the pitch. Is that proved a point today for you?
Well, hopefully, you know, as I said, I've made a statement last week, as everyone's heard of, and hopefully that's the end of it. And again, probably the best part is to be on the pitch because nobody can keep asking you bloody questions, you know.
Before we leave it, the media does seem to believe that you've agreed to go abroad. Is a decision being made on that basis?
Well, I wish I knew where I was going. If they know something, again, I've been truthful with United. I've said I'll wait till, you know, maybe January 1st again. I'm liable to speak to clubs if I want. And as I said, I'll just take it from there. But at the moment, no, there's no truth in that.
The spirit carries on here, doesn't it, at Manchester United? Again, you've come from behind. It's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, again, as I said, it's only a 4th league match. Performance wasn't great, but it's early days yet. And, you know, people go on about teams, you know, the likes of Wimbledon and Watford, their spirit. But you need spirit at big clubs like United, and that's what we've had, which has helped us over the years. And it's proved again important today, you know, again from a bad performance, but again, a win.
Carling man the match, Roy. Well played. Congratulations. Well done.
Okay.
Thoroughly deserved as well. 2 goals for Roy Keane, 2 for Manchester United. They've won here by 2-1. After the break, more from Highbury, and we'll also be catching up with what's happening at Haydock tonight. That's next on a Super Sunday. Ahead of him, he's off to Haydock Park very shortly, but just before he goes, here's Sir Alex Ferguson with George Gavin.
Alex, a great result. How sweet is that for you?
Well, it's an important result, as we said before the game. I think both managers, both camps were talking in terms of how important it was. So to get the result is a good one for us.
How important is it in relation to the title this early in the season?
Oh, it's early. It's too early. It means a lot of roads to travel before we get to that point. I always think March and April is when it really starts. But it's a good result for us, and at times we played some great football. At times the defending was very poor. We almost played like a practice match. You attack and we attack, and that created a really open match. I think that you saw the quality of both sides today, and quite an enthralling match to my mind. There was always a bit of excitement about it, chances created at both ends. So to get out of it, you know, with the result, it's a good one.
Has Roy Keane proved today that he can put any off-field problems behind him and play for Manchester United?
We've no doubts about that. I've never had any doubts about that. And as you saw today, his performance tells you that he's focused in the team, he's a captain, and he wants to try and lead us to another triumph.
There was a ruckus near the end there, wasn't there? When 2 warriors like Vieira and Keane get together, will sparks always fly? Yeah, I think they've had 1 or 2 confrontations in the past anyway, and I think it doesn't take much to start getting them going again. The goalkeeping problem, is that a big one for you now, Alex?
Well, we'll just have to wait and see how Raymond does. He was very brave there, and he's got a sore one. We may have to send him for an x-ray, but at the moment we don't know.
Are you going to enjoy your night tonight?
Yes, I hope so. It should be a good night.
Have a good trip. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, he's off to Haydock Park now, a combination of fast cars, helicopters and jets, I think, which have combined already to take Jenny Powell to Haydock Park. Jenny, good evening to you.
Hello, Richard. I can't believe it. He's supposed to be here in about, what, 2 hours? So I can't believe you're holding him back there, because we need Sir Alex up here to kick off the concert. It's Simply Red. It's all in aid of Sir Alex Ferguson's testimonial year, and we need him.
Well, he's on the way, Jenny, but what can he expect when he gets there? What have you got for us?
Well, apart from this gorgeous set and me, we've got the Simply Red concert. It's the last one of Mick Hucknall's UK tour, and there's about 20,000 people that are going to end up down there. It's a beautiful evening. I can't believe it. The northwest, it's not raining. It doesn't always happen, and you can see it on Sky Box Office at 8 p.m. tonight, and it's live. Well, as I said, he's on the way. Are you offering odds on whether he makes the start or not? Listen, I've got all the confidence in the world. Look, I'm so relaxed I could fall off my inflatable. No, of course, he'll be there. We've got it all arranged. He's got a chauffeur-driven car, he's going to get in a jet, then in a helicopter, he's going to arrive at Manchester Airport, then he's going to get another helicopter, right over into that field over there, and then bang on the stage and say, ladies and gentlemen, here is Mick Hucknall and Simply Red, just like that. Jenny, I was going to wish you a good night, but I know it will be, so enjoy it. Oh, yeah, I'll miss you. You should be here. Is that an invitation, I wonder? Here's Arsene Wenger with George Gavin.
Arsene, you've just come out of the dressing room. What is the atmosphere like in there?
Oh, we are disappointed, of course. That's normal.
What was your view of the game?
I think the first half was good, and the second half was the pace went down. The two teams are not ready to play such a a big game at an early stage of the season, and technically second half was not very good. First half was of a very good level, and you see we had a turning point. At the beginning of the game, Man United could have gone up. We were lucky, and Alex had 2 or 3 good saves. After we went up 1-0, and we could have scored a second goal that would maybe have killed the game. And I felt the 1-1 was all right when until 3 minutes before the end.
How difficult was it for you with so many key players absent for you?
I believe that the squad is strong enough to cope with that, and you will have that again through the season. I think it as well today it was important not to lose, and even a draw would have been all right, but it's a big blow to us to lose the game, but we'll fight back.
Other than the 3 points, what does this give Manchester United?
Sorry?
Other than the 3 points, what does this give Manchester United?
I don't know. I think they're a good side. They have a great confidence, and today helps them, of course, to keep that going. But it's a long way to go.
Can you tell me, what was your opinion of the way the referee handled the game? He seemed to be trying to let it flow.
I think there was some bad fouls early on, and he was a little bit lenient maybe sometimes. I don't know. It's very difficult to say when you watch a game on the bench, because you have a better idea sometimes. Because I don't look too much at the referee. I have a better idea when I watch it again on the tape.
Were you concerned?
He was still asking the questions, was asking the questions. Sorry to crash out, Jeff. Steve Bruce and Frank McClintock, final thoughts, Steve. Jeff made the point. What does that give United, other than the 3 points? What sort of edge?
Well, they've got such a confidence about them, haven't they, at the moment? I mean, it's last Christmas since they got beaten, isn't it? They've got such a confidence going in. They all believe in each other that they're not going to get beat. And it's going to take some side on this show today. It's going to take some side to catch them again. You know, they look wonderful.
And what does that do to Arsenal's morale, Frank?
Well, obviously it knocks them a little bit. You know, it's a home match. It's one of the biggest games of the season. They played well. It was a smashing game. I actually felt as though it should have been a draw, finished up a draw. I think maybe when Suka settles in and becomes the orthodox striker, that's what Arsenal are missing. They've got too many players.
I was just going to say, what was the difference there? Because they're still so closely matched, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously Roy Keane scoring the goals made the difference, but when you see Bergkamp up front and Kanu, neither is an out-and-out striker. They're a little bit similar. They both like to play off someone, and their play sometimes gets a little bit intricate. But that's about all you can say. I mean, the two of them are excellent sides with good squads and probably looking to add 1 or 2 more players each. So it will be a great race, and I think Steve says earlier, all the rest of the teams in the league will be chasing
That's
those
the challenge. Who can catch them? Who's going to join them?
Of course, I think that's the rest of the obviously Chelsea, everybody's tipping that they could go a long way. It's up to people to try and catch. Well, I think Chelsea will be thereabouts. Whether they're good enough to come past Arsenal and Manchester United remains to be seen.
So it's United and Arsenal, one way or the other, again?
I would think so, yes.
Thanks for your company. Enjoyed it very much. Thanks. Steve Bruce and Frank McClintock. So let's check out what's coming up. Over on Sky Sports 3 now, from the Scottish Premier League, it's Hearts against Aberdeen.